Let's get quickly started. Before we get started, a warm welcome to all of you all. And as we have 3 more minutes to go, I would like all of you all to, just share your, if you all are happy to be out here, just mention happy in the chat window so that yes, you're creating a mindset of being happy. You're creating a mindset of learning, and you're creating a mindset of, looking forward to something, right? That's the first step. At the end of the day, it's not about what I teach. It's about whether you are in the right mindset to get whatever. It could be a one single thing that you learn, or it could be many things that you learn. But unless you are not in that mindset, learning never happens. So with that kind of an approach, can we just have a quick show of hands wherein you just type H or happy, whichever way you want to. So you can just type H or happy, so that I know that you all are out here in the same energy and the same enthusiasm that I have for today's learning, right? Wonderful. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Pranaya. Thank you, Kailashji. Thank you, Arun. For those who haven't yet, please put in. It's not about me, it's about you at the end of the day. Whether you are present in terms of your entire, you're focused out here actually. That's primarily it's all about. It's creating a mindset to get started actually. Okay. Wonderful, friends. So I think it's almost 4 o'clock. So let's begin for the benefit of those who have come before time and on time, right? As I just mentioned, it's going to be a 1.5 hour long session. A few do's and don'ts before we get started. Yes, mute yourself if I haven't already muted you. Don't record the webinar. We are recording the webinar, and we will be sharing it over YouTube with you. You can of course take screenshots if you want to. Put your webinar related questions on the chat window so that I can once in a while, as I finish one particular part of the session, I can take up a few questions over there and thereby make it slightly interactive session rather than a one-way complete dialogue out there, right? And most importantly, even though you are allowed to take screenshots of this session, don't share it with anyone else out there. Don't share it with in the social media, because I would want people to attend it and hear it out here and gain the knowledge, right? I'm giving it for free, and I would want people to come across me, know me, that get to know about us. That's one thing that I would want to have, right? Lastly, if you do like our entire session, then you all can definitely visit my LinkedIn page or SiteToast Facebook page or Google reviews and share a small review about this presentation. That is a small ask that I have at the end of this session. Thank you, friends. Moving quickly forward. Yes, the SiteToast by itself, if for some of you all who may not be aware, we are a 20-year-old company. Just hold on a minute, Daddy. We are a 20-year-old company. We have been in this business of helping our customers grow online profitably, and we do multiple services. One of the services is G Suite. We are Google Cloud partners out over there, and we are well placed to help you in your G Suite journey, right? Some of the other services that we provide are website design, digital marketing, and web hosting services on Amazon, Google Cloud Platform, etc. So we create hosting solutions which are more closely related to the payload that you have or the number of visitors that you have on the website itself. Okay. So now let's move further. The next part is about me itself. So as I told you, I'm Ramkumar Srinivasan. I am founder and I play the role at Sitetours. I'm founder of Sitetours.com. Our company name is HL Infotech Private Limited. Sitetours.com is a brand name which I love and I use it more often. I play the role of solution architect. So I help customers come up with a solution which is very close to their requirements, which not only enables in cost savings for them, but also ensures that it works very efficiently as per their requirements that they have at the end of the day. So whether it is hosting or whether it is email solutions, we have multiple email servers apart from G Suite. So depending on the business needs, requirements, etc., whether it is hosting, email or website design or digital marketing, we come up with customized solutions which are more tailored to your requirements, thereby giving you a cost advantage as well as efficiency which is needed at the current stage of your business, right? I will also be taking you through the session flow itself will be a bit slightly about the current business challenges, how G Suite can help you solve these challenges, why it is important to have a tool such as G Suite for your business, Gmail versus G Suite, because G Suite is a paid business app and the equivalent free one is the Gmail. So why opt for, when should someone opt for G Suite? That is something that we will be looking at. More importantly, G Suite apps walkthrough so that you get a fair understanding. So, and if you then decide that you want to go and implement it for your business, then you can go ahead and implement it for your business. Since we are reseller partners of Google Cloud, we will be offering you the same services at the same rate that Google Cloud offers you, except that with a slight advantage. The advantage being that we will be handholding you at every step of the entire process, not only in purchasing the G Suite account, but also in implementation and ensuring that you're able to make the most out of the G Suite app, right? I don't think even Google allows you or goes and does that kind of handholding for you. So we will be playing the role of facilitators for you and helping you grow your business out there. That will be followed definitely by the question and answer session, a more detailed question and answer session, but I'm happy to take questions as we keep going through sections. You will have to use the chat window to raise your questions out over there. Yes, our session topic today is business productivity and remote working using G Suite. Driving productivity, collaboration and team spirit using G Suite is what we are looking at. Friends, any questions so far? You can drop it on the chat window. I'm continuing further from here. So before lockdown, if you look at it, each and every one of us, most of the business owners, most of the top senior professionals out over there, we had our own workplace. We had a team which was in place for us in front of our eyes. We could see what they were doing. We could easily coordinate and delegate our work across to them and get the reporting systems in place, right? We also had an IT infrastructure which was within our office environment, and very much all of these things were in our control. So if you can see this photo, this very clearly communicates that you are in control of your environment out over there, right? We always create environments where we are very much in control, right? So with this understanding, but in today's time, if you look at it, yes, to a certain extent, the infrastructure is back in place. People have started reporting back to office as in the month of July that we talk about. Still, the entire team is not able to travel because the transportation and a lot of things are not in place yet. But some things have started, but still we have a situation where everything is still not in our control, and things may be like this for few more months to come, right? So how do we manage in such a new environment or kind of an environment which you got used to, but still which is not completely in our control? So we have our customers and teams which are dispersed. As I talk to you, even 3 members in my office of around 8 or 9 members that we have are actually placed in locations outside of Mumbai also. So they have gone back to their native villages, etc. And they are not even in Mumbai. So I don't even know if I say from tomorrow we are starting, will they even come back and join me as of tomorrow itself, right? So that's the kind of a new normal that you are looking at. Same at the customer side. The customer may be present wherever he is, but his team is again dispersed out there, and you are working with a team guy who's sitting in Badlapur, has an internet connectivity in the evenings. In the morning, he faces electricity issues and so on. And these are some of the challenges that we ourselves face when we work with some of our clients, our team members, our clients' team members, and so on, right? The IT infrastructure has been completely more or less replaced by a cloud IT infrastructure, including Zoom and Google Meet, GoToWebinar, and say whatnot. That's become the new norm of seeing each other's faces and hearing out each other, right? What's a business owner's dilemma at current point? So he is completely thinking, how do I work in the new normal? What tools can help my business? And can someone guide me with the process? He also has a bit of handholding because it's not a new normal. This is not something that he is uh, completely capable of coping with, right? For me as a technology owner, it was easy for us because we were using G Suite for last almost 8 years, and for the last 3 years, we have had our entire process shifted onto G Suite. So for us, it was fairly easy, and most of our products are online based. So our team is continuing to work from wherever they are, and everything is online based. So it hardly disrupts our entire environment out over there. But for most of the other businesses and business owners that I meet, either they need to be working from their office, or they are completely lost otherwise. But with these tools in place, yes, you can overcome some of the challenges. The primary key challenges, even though there are plenty of challenges in COVID times, the primary three key challenges that I will be able to solve for you is, one is that how to do an effective online communication between various stakeholders. Communication by itself is the biggest challenge today. Even though phone communication is available out over there, uh, you need to still have other modes of communication equally going on, and that communication has to be a continuous communication. How to do an effective online collaboration between employees and departments. So how do you do a collaboration in terms of work allocation, task allocation, and how does it happen seamlessly between employees and department? Earlier space, we used to be sitting in our cabin, or maybe we used to go down to the workplace. We used to ask them what the status is at every half an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever it may be. Where when you have those intercoms in place, you call up someone and you ask them what the status is. You ask them, everyone, to come into a conference room and you get things started, right? In today's environment, it's no longer such. Even if you say come to the conference room, you need to give a 2 hour notice so that they all are ready to come into a Zoom conference room as of now, or a Google Meet conference room. And then how does an online data collection and reporting automation happen? That's the most important part. At the end of the day, we want to measure things done. So how does all these three happen? And these are the three challenges that I can share with you that is possible to be solved using G Suite out over there, right? Uh, Virendra, you have raised your hand, but I would want you to raise the question over the chat window. It will be difficult for me to allow you to unmute you and ask a question out over there, because in that kind of a scenario, I will not be able to complete my entire session out over there. I would rather want to take certain questions and see whether we can, combine certain questions out over there if possible. So I would request you all to please use the chat window and type simple questions if you want to, and I'll be happy to answer those for you, right? If there is anything else, you can still mention. If my voice is not audible or something, you can just put it over there. In case your internet is slow, you need to just log out and reconnect using the same link out over there. So if someone is saying that they're not able to hear, others can kindly respond if you all are able to hear, so that the other member knows that it's more of his internet connection and he can go back and reconnect out over there. Right. If it's mine, I will connect over a different internet connection out here. Yes, G Suite can help you solve these challenges. And how do we overcome these challenges? So G Suite has got a complete framework of apps out over here. You can see that we have the, just a minute, hold on here. You can see that we have the Connect apps, which primarily consist of Gmail, the Hangout, the Meet. Meet is the Google video conferencing app. We have Google Calendar. These are some of the apps that we have for communication purposes. The Create, we have the Google Docs, Google Sheets, which are equivalent to Microsoft Office, but they are all online out over here. Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms. Google Forms is one of the most important app that can give you a lot more productivity for your business, and we will be looking at how these help you out over there. And some of the other apps like Google Keeps, Sites, Task, etc. Then you have the Access apps, which is more like an online storage server where you can keep your files secure and share it with your team members, different team members. So the marketing team, you have a different folder. Accounts team, you have a different folders. So you can share the folder between different teams and you can collaborate out over there. You can even share it with your clients and you can collaborate out over there. And all these the create docs that you have over here, the create files that you have over here in terms of docs, sheets, slides, forms, etc., can be a part of your storage files out over here, and also your own old docs, Excel sheets, PDFs that you had can also be stored over here and can be shared among members, allowed to be reused and things like that. Can be templatized and so on. Actually, you also have a cloud search feature which is available, which helps you to easily search the documents out over there. We also have the admin control tools in terms of the admin section, which allows you to manage these entire set of apps. And that's where I think G Suite apps becomes a very powerful thing, because it helps you to maintain control over who gets to do what. So which group of yours has got access to which apps? Do you want to give them access to all the apps? You want to restrict the access to certain apps? So all those controls are available over here. You can decide which mobile devices get access and which mobile devices do not get access. You have the vault, which is available for the premium plans, where it allows you to archive the entire emails out over there. So these are some of the things that you have out here. Yeah. So what does it mean for you at the end of the day? It means that with these apps in place, you're back in control of your things. Of course, how you can take care of reporting automation, how you can take care of collaboration is something that I'll be sharing more as we keep going along. And once you're able to do that, you're more back in control of your things with G Suite app. It's a must-have app for your business if you don't already have it. Your cloud infrastructure is in place. You have a much more better infrastructure in place, which is completely in your control as a business owner. You can set up the rules and processes how people will use that particular these apps, etc. And you can also create new systems and processes on these apps, which helps your team to know what they are expected to do, and they can come back and report to you whether it is done, not done, etc. out over there. So coming back to the picture on the right hand side, you can see that you are very much in control even if you're working from home. So that's something that you can always do out over there, right? Some of the additional benefits that G Suite offers for you. Yes, do better with lesser effort. I think this is the most important paradigm for any business out there. You need to do better with lesser effort. You cannot be putting too much effort as a single business owner. You cannot be doing everything of your office. So you need to somewhere just sit down and be focused on building your team, building a profitable business model out over there, and most importantly, working on the strategies so that you can keep moving your business forward as per the current market times. And how do you do that is that you take away some of the load from your end and put it on to the apps, etc., so that the system side, etc., take over your current workloads and allows you free time to work at looking at building a right team out over there, building a profitable business model over there, and building the right getting the right strategies for your business so that you can keep moving your business as the business times and markets keep changing out there. So the example is apt. Instead of 3-4 people trying to push the boulder out over there, you use a crowbar kind of a system, and with the fulcrum principle, you can easily move it out over there. You can automate some of your tasks. We all would be aware about this grinder, the hand grinder that we had earlier for creating the idli batter, similar to the chutney grinder that you have in the north for some of you all. And right now we have this grinder, which you must have seen in the hotels. For homes, we have a simpler tabletop grinders available. But these automate the task. It takes away the time that the ladies used to commit. I think if we can do it for them, we need to do it for our own business and for ourselves first, right? We need to automate our tasks so that we have more free time in our hand. And more importantly, standardize the systems and processes. How do we standardize the systems and processes? Every activity needs a set of steps that needs to be taken to complete it. If you can define those set of steps, if you can put it down in the Excel sheet, you can share it with a team out over there, you can collaborate out over there, and you can put down for each activity that happens, you can put down a calendar, or you can put down a methodology wherein they can come and report whether they have completed those steps and whether it's done, not done, etc. I think it does a lot for your business. And more importantly, why I use this McDonald's French fries example out over here, I think it's the same when you go to any outlet out over there. It tastes the same, right? I think it's the most classic example that the cook is different in each outlet out over there, yet the fries stays the same. So I think that's what is the best part of standardization, is that you're able to keep your customers satisfied even though you are out of the business, right? You don't need to be in the business to get the same quality all the time. You can standardize it using the right systems and processes. I think with this kind of understanding, you all will fairly agree with me that yes, it is something that these are the three things that you would definitely want for your business. And if that is what you would want for your business, I want you all to say agree out over there in the chat window, so that I know that so far you all are with me. So most of your screens are off. I don't know whether you all are with me so far. So just type agree out over there so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. Is this presentation on Google Slides? Yes, this presentation is on Google Slides. Noor Hajiji. You cannot be talking about one thing and using something else, right? I would have loved to do this presentation on Google Meet also, for that matter, which we use in our office day in and day out. But for public sessions, I normally use Zoom. The only one advantage being that I get a mute all option. It's not that we need it for business owners out here, but it gives me a certain control at the end of the day. Yeah, thank you, Kailash. I understand. So perfect, guys. I'm happy that you all are here with me so much so far. Let's move quickly further and let's look at Gmail versus G Suite, because that's the most important question that we need to answer. Why G Suite? Why not use Gmail? Because it gives me all these features. Why should someone go on to G Suite, especially when you have to pay for it and you're getting something free of cost? So let me answer that question for you, and maybe this will help you to understand, yes, whether do you need it for your business or not. And then the remaining things that I'm sharing is same for Gmail and G Suite both, but you at least know why you need to use G Suite, and when you don't need to use G Suite out over there. G Suite, in fact, my pronunciation is slightly wrong. Sorry for that. So one, Gmail is for individuals and it is free. G Suite is for business and it's paid per user. In Gmail, you get @gmail.com, which doesn't look quite professional at the end of the day, especially in today's time where almost 70% of the businesses do own a domain. They are taking a lot of efforts to be competitive in the global village. It's no longer a space where you used to operate at the retail level, at your locality level. Most of the businesses have gone online and you have become a part of the global village. So you need to appear professional out over there, and one way of appearing professional is by having @yourcompanyname.com. So your name at yourcompanyname.com, you would get it in G Suite. You will not get it in gmail.com. Gmail.com gives you 15 GB space per user. G Suite gives you 30 GB space per user. Yes, there's more amount of space available. That's why it starts from, that's the basic plan. And then the business plan gives you unlimited space per user. So that is something that you can definitely take advantage of. Then you have no administrative control in Gmail. Here you have a complete administrative control. You are in completely, you have reports. There are so many things that you have control on over here. We'll see that as we keep moving along. Then rename of user is not possible. So say you've created 3-4 company email accounts. Like I've seen people creating accounts.site-to-host@gmail.com. mktg.site-to-host@gmail.com, and it serves the function fairly good, no issues at all. But at the end of the day, if some of these guys were configured on their mobile, etc., leave something, the mobile authentication is theirs, and if they don't coordinate or cooperate with you for whatever reasons, you do not have access to that email going forward. That is one. And two is that if someone new joins in your company, you're not able to reallocate that email across to him. Three is that if you've created it in a person's name, like say ram.sitetoast@gmail.com, then you cannot rename it and give it to someone else if Shyam has joined in. You cannot transfer the emails from one account to the other account and so on. So rename of user and transfer of mails and the documents related to that email account to another user is not possible. Here you can rename a user. So you have something like say ram@sitetoast.com, and Ram has left the company and Shyam has joined the organization. Then you can just go and rename the user from Ram to Shyam, and then and give this to the new guy who has come in the organization. Now there are two things that happen. One is that Ram's account becomes a forwarded account automatically. So any mail coming to Ram at site2host.com gets automatically forwarded to Shyam at site2host.com. That is one. And two is that more importantly is that the Shyam is able to see all the previous communication that Ram and the client has done out over there. Now, with this kind of an understanding, he is able to know where the communication with every client has been, and whatever, then he is able to give a solution in keeping with the past communication. So he is not coming out with a solution which is completely a new solution. He knows what were the previous communication. He's coming up with something which is in keeping with that kind of a communication. Now that is really important. It gives you a efficiency for your business out there. And I think these are the things that makes it profitable to use a G Suite at the end of the day. Uh, of course, transfer of mails and documents. So you want to close that account completely. And then in that case, when you're closing the account, you can transfer the mails and documents to some other user out over there, right? The next thing is that the organizational units and subunits based roles and privileges are not possible in a Gmail account. Whereas in a G Suite account, you can actually create organizational units and subunits out over there. So what is organizational units and subunits? Organizational units is that you have a set of roles and policies for the entire organization, or you have it as per the departments. So for marketing department, you can have certain rules and privileges and so on. And when you create a user and you assign him to the particular subunit, say marketing subunit, automatically all the roles and privileges of that particular subunit get assigned to that particular user, right? So this is possible in the paid account. It's not possible in the free account out over there. Google Meet recording is not available here. Google Meet recording is available. There is no customer support in gmail.com. There is customer support, a very highly and very efficient customer support available in the admin section of G Suite users out over there. So these are some of the do's and don'ts of Gmail versus G Suite. I haven't covered something which is related to why go for Gmail in the first place in case you're already using certain other email service provider out over there. Then why would someone have to opt for G Suite in the first place? That is also something that I would want to throw light upon, and I will definitely share more of that as we move along. But this is comparison of Gmail versus G Suite, because the first question many micropreneurs, solo entrepreneurs come and ask me, why should I opt for G Suite in the first place? And I think this is some of the valid things that you would want to hear out there. Plus, and more importantly, you can of course extend your space in both the places. In Gmail as well as G Suite, you can extend your space from 30 GB to 100 GB and so on. So your business continuity is available in both. But in G Suite, even if your people leave and some new guys come, there is a system and process that you have created for the entire app, which allows you as a standard operating procedure to run your things through, which is not possible in gmail.com. So whether you are a small organization of 2 members or 5 members, it doesn't matter. You need to create processes which are scalable, not create processes which are non-scalable. Okay. Now let's look at the G Suite admin console itself. And this is a very wonderful utility that you have over there, which itself is not there in most of the other email applications or servers that we get to use in the market otherwise. We ourselves are resellers for 3 other such email servers. And I should say that G Suite has got one of the fantastic admin consoles out over there. So yes, for basic is that you can create a user out over here. I'm just going through this very quickly. I'm not delving too deep into the admin section, but just to give you an overview of what you're missing in case you're not using G Suite actually. You can create and manage users out over here. You can reset their passwords and all those things. You can set what is the contact number that people will contact in case if they've forgotten their password, etc. So the admin controls are with you out over here. The company profile itself you can manage in terms of the basic organizational unit, roles, privileges, etc. The billing out over here, you can manage your billing and see what's happening with your billing, how many users you have, what is the current billing status, etc. The reports, they've got beautiful dashboards with multiple kinds of reports out over there in terms of usage of apps, in terms of who is interacting with how much, how many mobile devices are on the system. There's so many different kinds of dashboard reports that they've got. It gives you a lot of insights into how your team is using G Suite out over there, and allows you to take certain actions as per that. The apps, as we saw earlier, G Suite comes with lots of apps. One is Gmail, then you have Google Meet, Google Chat, Google Task, Google Keep, Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, PowerPoint slides, so many of them, right? And all these apps you have over here, and here also you can decide which organizational unit and subunits you can decide who gets to use what. So that is what the app section allows you. Device management, if there are multiple mobile devices, you can decide whether mobile devices have access and what they get to use. You can keep a track. You can, if someone loses the mobile, you can delete you can wipe out the entire content of the company from the mobile at a click of a button over here. So if someone says, sir, I lost my mobile, or my mobile got, it was pickpocketed or something like that, you can immediately go and wipe out the entire data, or at a single click right from here. So your data is very safe, your data is very protected. Even the same for a laptop also, for that matter. You can go and wipe out the data. You can delete the account from here itself for that particular mobile device. So that's the kind of controls that are available out over here. Yes, in terms of security, there are a lot of security settings that you can set up. What happens in terms of forgot password? Do you want to have a double authentication each time the person logs in? So you have the password as one authentication. You can also say that you need to enter your employee code along with it. So there are multiple ways that you can set up your security out over there. And support, you want to ask the G Suite admin team for support, you can ask them. With us, the advantage is that we have in our life cycle of support management, we have handled so much of support that we are in a very good place to answer the support immediately in most cases, actually. So that is something that we help with our customers with. Data migration, whether you have you're using Outlook, say, for that matter, in currently, and you want to migrate your entire historical mails lying in your Outlook onto G Suite, so as to get continuity of your emails of your past domain on G Suite. Yes, it can be done, and we can help you with the entire process. Whether you have 35,000 mails, one customer had 60,000 emails lying in his Outlook out over there, and we were still able to migrate the entire thing online, and which allowed him to have a business continuity of his entire email onto G Suite, actually. So he doesn't have to keep shuffling between Outlook on one side and G Suite on the other side. Whether you have a Yahoo or a gmail.com. So there are some people who have moved from a gmail.com where they had something like, say, your company name at gmail.com, like we have a site to host at gmail.com, and they wanted to move the entire data onto the paid account. We help them with migration of the entire thing out over there. So data migration is possible. If you have multiple G Suite accounts and you don't want to be, as an admin, as a business owner, you own all these 2, 3, 5 domains out there, and you want to have a single place from where you can manage all the domains, you can set it up over here and manage all your 5 domains from one simple location out over here. One single account out over here, for that matter. Rules, yes, you can set up a lot of forwarding rules. There are different types of rules that we can set up. Forwarding is one of the rules. Routing is one of the rules, wherein, for example, you have, say, 50 email users in your company, and you want to have 30 email users on G Suite and 20 of them on the old email server platform, because it's slightly cheap and they really don't have a need for all the apps over there. They really are not using. They're really a workforce kind of people, and they don't really need the entire apps that we have to offer out there. Then you can, for whatever reasons, for budgeting reasons, for whatever reasons you may have, you can split it out. You can split some users onto G Suite and split some of the users onto the historical email server out over there. So we have done it for a few customers, even that kind of a scenario. There are different types of rules that you have. Backup rules. You want that, every email that comes into your organization and every email that goes out of your organization is being tracked in one email account. More importantly, from a backup or archiving perspective, because the vault is really expensive, it is available for premium users. So for a basic user, you want to have that feature, then we can set it up in the rule out here. The groups, yes, you can create various groups out there, and groups are free of cost for you. It doesn't cost you anything. So you can have a group like, say, all at your company-name.com. Say you've got 30 employees in your company and you want to have all at the rate yourcompany-name.com. You can create that. The advantage being that when you want to send out a say happy Diwali greeting to all your employees, you don't want to set it up as each employee name out over there, but you want to just send it out as all at yourcompany-name.com, and it goes to every employee out over there. You can also have marketing groups, sales groups, different kinds of groups out there, operations group, so that if any mail comes to the sales department and you've got only 2 guys and you want to ensure that the customer is addressed at the first thing, by whosoever is available at that particular point of time, then that can go to sales at yourcompany-name.com. So people from outside the group can also send it to a group, and it gets automatically forwarded to the group members out there, and they can immediately respond back to that particular email. One of them responds maybe with a CC to the sales account itself, so that the other guy knows that you have already responded on to this particular client. So there are different types of groups that you can create. You can even have outside members as part of your group. So say you want to have an accounts group where you also want your CA to be a part of that group, and he has a Yahoo or a Hotmail ID, he still can be made a part of the group. And all the mails which goes to the account ID will automatically, a copy will go to your CA also out over there. And that way groups is multifunctional for you. Admin roles, when you're managing a large company, say you've got hundreds of users out there, and you as a single person cannot be doing everything for all those 100 people. So there are hundreds or 200, 300 people out there. You can create sub admin roles, and you can give them department wise manageability, and you can be a super admin out over there, or your technical head can be a super admin out over there, wherein he or she can ensure that work is still happening for those multiple departments. Like every guy asking for a change of password, I don't need to go and answer every person's change password out over there, right? I can rather delegate it to some of my IT team members out over there. So admin roles are possible. You can have multiple admins for this particular G Suite account. Dashboard, yes, you have a dashboard from where you can have the basic reports, and you can navigate. What we are looking at right now is the dashboard out over here. You also can set up buildings and resources. So when you say resources, say you have people, you have certain offices, you have conference room as a resource. And many a times what happens is that in smaller companies, I don't know if any of you all have used workspaces out there. So we have nowadays a co-working space as a concept in many of the top cities out here. And in these co-working space, they give you a table space, and they also give you shared conference rooms. So if you want to avail the conference room, you need to go and book the conference room first, so that the other members know that between 11 to 12 o'clock, I have a meeting with one of the client, and I am booking conference room 1 for my particular meeting out there. And that way they will not call their client for 11 to 1 o'clock, because if he comes, he will not have a space to sit out over there. So they will rather schedule it for a different time. Now in offices also, when I go to many offices out there, I see that there people do have a challenge of, that conference room is only 1 or 2. And when a client comes, they don't know where to make him sit many a times. So you can set it up in the resource, as a conference room as a resource. And when you go to a calendar and set up a Google Calendar event for a client meeting, you can choose that particular resource and say that when you say the event time is 11 to 12, automatically others will get to know that 11 to 12, you have scheduled a client meeting in that conference room. And thereby they are able to schedule or get their client for their meetings at a different time if they want to use the same conference room for that particular meeting. So that is something which is possible out over here, right? So these are some good things that you have. If you really find this useful, I would want you to type good or useful in the chat window out over there, so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. I would want you all to type good or useful out over there, so that I know you all are with me for not any other reason, but so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. Sometimes, you're talking, you don't even know whether the session is on or you're disconnected and things like that. So a kind of an interaction helps me to know I am with you, all of you all out here, right? Okay, guys, wonderful. So I know that I am present in this session myself, when you all are interacting on the chat. And please move your fingers. It ensures that your blood supply is up, you're focused, and you're hearing me out over here. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, so if you were to sum it up, primarily, yes, it's more of building efficiency with Google Apps, scale up your business by automating tasks, autopilot your business by creating systems and processes, work independently Work independently because it's one app where you don't need too many technical guys to advise you how to use things. It's fairly straightforward. Maybe even after my session itself, you can start working independently out there. It's a cost effective solution for your business because it costs you roughly around 200 rupees per user for the basic edition. But if you look at any CRM software out over there, which also is able to do some of these things out here, sometimes something more, sometimes something less. But if you look at it, each CRM user costs you rupees 1,000 per month. There is no CRM available where it costs you less than 1,000 rupees per month. Now you have a choice whether you would want to start off with these things, ensure that your team is able to grounded and able to use these things in place, and you would want to have the security of the email, the stability of the email service and the other apps, and then move on to a CRM at a later point of time, or would you want to jump to a CRM at this particular level itself? So this is something that these are the few things, are promises that I can make for you. The G Suite is what basically all about. Let's go further and look at some of the other advantages that how to use the G Suite apps itself. So I'll be walking you through the G Suite apps out over there. But this is what G Suite is all about, right? G Suite is all about. Now let's look at a few examples so that I can drive home that these are definitely possible out over here, right? Build efficiency with Google Apps, scale your business by automating tasks, autopilot your business by creating systems and processes, work independently, and more importantly, have a cost-effective solution for your business, right? So yes, one thing that many people do ask me is that, Ram, I'm already using cPanel or I'm already using some other email solution. Why should I shift to G Suite? Yes, apart from the apps, what could it be other reason? If I'm not going to use the app, should I still move on to G Suite for that matter? Yes, you may or may not have a choice about using apps, but at the end of the day, if you look at G Suite as an email solution itself, it is one of the most secure email solution out over there. It is secure for that one particular reason that if you're, most of the times we know that, the email password gets hacked due to malware. Maybe you have given away the password somewhere. It could be for whatever reasons, But at the end of the day, if that person goes to some other location and he tries to log in with those credentials out over there, one, you will get an email saying that someone is logging into your account. Two, in certain cases, G Suite will automatically block him and ask him for an OTP. Verification to ensure OTP which is sent over the mobile, and he has to he has to check that and verify that before he is able to log in into your system. So many times with most of my customers in the last 6-7 years, I have seen that the account user passwords are getting hacked. Nowadays, the hackers are extremely intelligent guys. They've evolved over time. They are sitting out there and they are tracking your mail over a period of time, snooping on your mail for 3 to 4, 6 months at times. And then one specific day, they send out a phishing email to one of your customer saying that don't transfer the money to this bank account. We have some issues with this account, so kindly transfer the money to this particular bank account. And that customer knowingly or unknowingly transfers the money to that particular bank account, and your money is lost at the end of the day. Sometimes it happens the other way. You get a mail by someone impersonating the customer, and he has just booked the domain name with some small spelling change out there. And for you, it looks very much like the same mail because the signature and everything he has copied. And for you, it is like the same guy is sending you out a mail over there. He has not got access to that guy's mail. All he has got access is your mail. He knows that this is the kind of signature format the other customer uses. This is the domain name that he is using. He has gone and made a small change in the domain name spelling. He has booked a new domain name. You never go and check the domain name spelling to verify whether it's the right one. All you look at is whether the subject, the font and everything matches. And you get a mail saying, don't send the money to this bank account, send the money to this particular bank account. And you have inadvertently sent the money to a wrong bank account because the customer's place in Kenya, Dubai, whatever for that matter, you've done it. Sometimes they are able to keep a track of your mails. They know your boss is out of station, especially the accounts guy. They are able to keep a snooping on the accounts team guy. They know which mails to track. They don't track everyone's mail. They track only the business owners and the accounts guys' mail. Jahan paisa hai, usi ko track karte hain. And they send a mail to the accounts guy कि I am stuck, my phone is not reachable. and they know that you're in a different time zone. So you will not pick up the call in that particular time zone. And the accountant tries your number frantically 1 or 2 times. You don't pick it up. You're sleeping in the US time zone. And here he thinks that you're really stuck with someone has caught you and put you in prison. And he thinks that he has to transfer the money so as to get you out of prison. And the accountant transfers the money also at times, right? We all have got such mails in the past. And someone or the other has been emotional enough to go ahead and do that activity, sometimes knowingly, sometimes emotionally, sometimes for whatever reasons out there, but you have lost your money at the end of the day. So G Suite offers you the most secure email solution. It also offers you the best anti-spam solution out over there. It also offers you a best malware prevention solution out over there. They have a very good algorithm in place because they're tracking so many mails out over there that they are able to know which mail is spam, which mail is malware, which mail is safe, and things like that. So that is one reason that you should opt for G Suite for your business and not use cPanel or maybe some other email account, even though we do provide that because people do ask for that. But Apple is there, and you also have oranges and you also have chicos and all. We need to sell everything, right? We can't say no to a customer. But if you ask us from our perspective, we ourselves use G Suite for last many years. And I would, of course, definitely suggest you to opt for G Suite at the end of the day, right? Second is that, yes, you get a lot of communication tools. So without wasting too much of more time on theory, let me just go and start sharing some of the screens out over there. नहीं तो आपको लगेगा कि सर कहाँ पूरा theory ले रहे हैं, right? So someone was asking me, am I using a slide? Yes, I'm using a Google slide. Just give me a minute. Can you all see my slides out over here? Just type yes on the screen so that I know my right slide is being shared. It's a Google slide, of course, but can you see my Google slide right now? Okay, now let me go on to Gmail. Yes, this is my Gmail out over here. Of course, we were lucky enough that when we started around many years back, Gmail itself was free. Okay, now this is my G Suite was free for that matter. Now this is my interface out over here, which we have been using for almost 10 plus odd years. And yes, as you can see, I can personalize it with my logo out over there. I have the Gmail itself is broken up into 3 compartments out over here. So you can see the first compartment is on the left hand side, you have all the communication tools. So you have the email, you have the Google Meet, which is a conferencing app of Google, and you have the Hangouts, which is the chat app available from Google, right? So you have these 3 types of communication, one being the email, 2 being Google video conferencing Meet out over there, and 3 is Google Hangouts, which is the Google chat tool out for you. So you have 3 modes of communication out here. On the right hand side, you can see that we have this Google Calendar, we have Google Keep, and we have Google Task on the right hand side. So these are self productivity tools. We call this as internal productivity tools because these are for each one for ourselves. We cannot share these with our team out here. So Task is more for me. It's not a collaborative tool. It's only that I myself can go and create a task and I can mark it as complete. I can go and keep my notes on Google Keep out over here. And I can go and create a Google Calendar account where set up a meeting over here whenever I want to. And today's times in Google COVID times, what Google Calendar has done is that they are giving you Google Meet by default for because the event cannot happen physically today. So they are giving you what you call as a Google Meet inbuilt into the calendar itself. So you can just click on whichever time you want to, and when you click on that particular time, you get that on the top, you get a date, you get the time out over here. You can go and modify it if you want. You can modify the date by clicking over here. You can set up the event, what the event is all about. You can add your guest by just typing their first names, and it will get automatically populated for you out here. So these are a few things. You can add as many guests as you want for that particular session or meeting. And you can go ahead and if you have a physical location, you can mark your location. Else Google Meet video conference is available out here. You click on it, you get the link automatically, and this link goes to all your meeting members out there so that they can also participate. So in this way, you set up a calendar. If it's a recurring event, you can set it up as a recurring event. You can click the small pop-up icon and it comes up as a pop-up out over here, wherein you can see the entire screen in a bigger way. And this is available for each and every app of Google. So this particular URL you can see is calendar.google.com. So whenever you want to set up a calendar directly on the bigger screen, you can just go to calendar.google.com and you can set it out over here. You can set it up as a recurring meeting. So my morning meetings are recurring. I set it up as a recurring meeting. So on here, you can see that you have a recurring meeting out here Monday to Friday, Sunday, Monday to Friday, whatever you want. You can every weekday, Monday to Friday, whichever way you want, you can set it up. And this way we are able to have our everyday morning. I don't need to set up a link for my team. It goes as a link to them and we are able to see the recurring meetings out over there. So these are a few things that are really possible. There's a lot more possible, but on the brief time that I can share something with you, these are some things that you can possible, and you can set up notification alerts. When do you want the alerts coming to you and to the participants of this particular meeting in terms of an email as well as a notification alert which comes on your mobile, right? So these are notification and email alerts that you have. It's fantastic to have it. And yes, here you can see have a weekly view, you have a day view, you have a month view out over there. So you can see all my if you look at the weekly view, you were able to see on the top that I have a weekday meeting set up, a recurring meeting set up across. So these are a few things that you can easily navigate from here, right? You can navigate to whichever view you want to from here. You can also have multiple calendars. On the left hand side, you can see that you can create different multiple calendars. And this event itself, you can mark it to be a part of your personal calendar or a part of your team calendar or a part of your training calendar, etc. And you can that way you can keep a tab of your different work activities out over there. So these are some things that are possible in the calendar itself. Just a minute. Okay. Now, going forward, yes, you can. Calendar is something which I shared about with you. Now, coming back to the email itself, a few things which I was very surprised when I was talking to a few participants in the last sessions, and they said that they are not much aware about Gmail itself. So for many of you all who are using Outlook, what I can share with you is that you have a option of toggling your panes over here. So you want an Outlook kind of a view where you want to have a pane window out here, wherein if you select one of your emails, it comes out over there as a pane out there, right? So you can have this kind of a preview window out over here if you want to. That is something which is possible. And then from here, you do your reply and all those things like that. You have like the mobile, you have the shortcut button to reply. You can pop it out, you can print it. So these are some possibilities that you have. You can toggle it. You have a horizontal pane view. You have multiple types of pane view. So you can see that you can even have a horizontal split. So for people who are used to Outlook, a pane kind of a window view, you can do that in Gmail also, so as to get the same kind of a split feel out over here. You can toggle your language out over here. There are some basic settings that you have in the settings tab itself. You can have a change your look and feel of your color of your by choosing a different background, a different theme. You can have a different look to your Gmail window instead of the dry black, white, and red feel out over here. You have different types of comfortable and compact view to this particular view itself of the email out over here. So these are a few things that you can do out here. There are multiple settings. You can have a look at it. You can so the pane itself, you can set it from here. Conversation view. Now in mail, in an Outlook, you don't have all the mails getting grouped together by the subject. Whereas in Gmail, if you can see over here, we have this particular first mail inquiry received on GSU tab. We have 9 accounts and they are all grouped together, right? So this is called a conversation view. And this conversation view can be enabled or disabled from here. If you disable it, it will be more like Outlook, where you have all the mails coming single. But a conversation view is good because it allows you to keep a track of all your conversations on a single subject line very clearly out over there. But in case you're so used to Outlook that you're not able to wanting it, you don't want it or something, yes, then you can go back to having a non-conversation view out there. Now you also have on the top something like see all settings in the settings tab. So if you toggle the settings tab out here, you have on the top see all settings. You can click on the see all settings and you get a lot more settings out over there. Now some of the advanced features that you have, which I can just share as you go down, is that you have, yes, you have a grammar suggestions on. You also have spelling suggestions on, which makes it easy for your team to compose things even if they are slightly not conversant with English. Anyone for that matter, because we may be very good in terms of communication on mother tongue, but at times we are not good in English, then you can definitely use. I definitely make a use of it all the time. Then you have the autocorrect tool, which allows you to do an auto correction automatically. Writing suggestions on, as you keep typing, automatically suggestions will come. I'll show it to you as we go there. These are some things which are not available with some of the other apps that you use for email, and this builds efficiency for your team. See, this just saves time. Do less, do better with less effort. So this is what it is all about. Personalization can be set on. So we have a smart compose personalization. So when you say dear, if the email ID has been addressed to say ramkumar@sitetours.com, then automatically dear Ramkumar comes by default. So you don't have to type the entire thing. Google is able to pick it up from the two line, whom are you sending the mail, and automatically have the personalization built in. So you just need to accept it and move on actually. So you don't need to type everyone. It saves a lot of your typing time. It saves a lot of your time on Gmail, so deleting unwanted mails, spending hours together, deleting spam and all those things. All those time gets saved in plenty for you and your entire team out there actually. So it's a very efficient tool at the end of the day. Yes, you have smart reply on. So there are some small replies that come automatically below email, below every email that you receive from a customer, which helps you to choose one of those and reply rather than type. Especially on the mobile, it is a very important feature because it becomes slightly difficult to type out the entire reply out over there. So you can you can, if you want to set it off or something, you need to do it from here. But otherwise, this is where it is available for you. Keyboard shortcuts on, off, etc. You can set up multiple signatures out there. So which enables your, you want to have a different signature at times. So when you're replying to certain mails, you can choose your signature while composing a mail, etc. But you can set up multiple signatures here so that you can choose one at the end of the day. So it allows you to create new and set up multiple signatures, and I use it. I have 4-5 signatures set up and I use it all the time. You have this vacation responder. So vacation responder is something like where you're going out on a vacation and you want to inform everyone that if they are mailing you, then you're not available during those time period, and if they have some emergency or something, how do they get in touch with you, or whom should they get in touch with in your organization? So this is something that you should definitely look at for that matter, right? So these are some of the tools that we do have out over here. Now, yeah, going back to the on the top, yes, you have the inbox itself, the labels. You can create as many labels, like we have folders in Outlook. We have labels over here. You can create as many labels, and there in Outlook we used to assign the emails to folders. Here you can assign the emails to labels, and they will be grouped together label wise. So you go and click on that label on the left hand side. You have these labels coming on the left hand side. If you scroll down, and you can go and select those labels out there. So for example, I have this First Naukri, and it will show me all the mails which belong to First Naukri label out here. So those labels are nothing like, it's more like folders in Outlook. We don't have a folder concept, but we do have a label concept out over here. So you can create and remove your labels whenever you want to. You can manage your labels from the label section. You can see all your labels out here, and you can also keep a track how many mails, and you can decide whether you want these labels to be shown in IMAP, which basically means that whether you want to show it on your mobile part or not, mobile, iPad, if you're using multiple devices, whether you want to show it there or not. So you can say yes or no toggles over there. Okay. Harshini. Now you also have this inbox where you have multiple tabs. primary social promotions, updates, forums, you can enable it. And what G Suite does is that it automatically pushes the mail into these tabs depending on what the mail is all about. If it's about transactional passwords, etc., then it goes into the updates tab. It is more about people from other forums sending you messages. It goes into forums tab. If it's a promotional mail, it comes here. If it is coming from a social media site, then it goes into the social tab, and all others coming from your client goes into your primary tab. If it is marked as spam, it goes into the spam tab, and that is seen on the left hand side. You have the spam and the trash tools available. You can definitely go through some of these settings out over here. There are a lot more out over here. You can look at it. Even the readings panes on off can be switched on and switched off from here. Similarly, you in the account section, you can also pull mails from multiple other accounts out over here. In the filters and blocked address, you can create filters. How do you do it? I'll share you. But if you want to see all your filters that you've created, you can come here and see those filters. And if you want to delete and no longer have those filters, you can delete it from here. The filters itself are created from the search tool over here. So on the search, I don't know if many of you will notice there's a small arrow icon on over here, and you can click over here, and you can, at the bottom, you have a create filter. I'll share more about it later. You also have the forwarding and IMAP, where you can enable IMAP for your tablets, PC, mobiles, etc. One, you can ensure that whenever you're deleting, what happens to the delete mails and where does it go through? It goes to the trash or something. You can set up some of these settings over here. Some few basic do's and don'ts, and I would want you to have a look at settings at your own leisurely time, but you should go through it and ensure that you have settings which are more tweaked for your productivity and your efficiency at the end of the day. Once in a while, do keep going across it, because G Suite and Gmail keep coming up with new things out over there, and you might miss out on some of these features if you're not going through it on a regular 3 to 6 month interval. Once in a while, you need to just go there and have a look at it, right? So yes, that is something about it. If you look at the search itself, it has got one of the most advanced search filters out there. It's very easy to use. You can search from from sender's ID, the from ID, the to ID. You can search by what subject your mail contains. You can even say has the words. And when you say has the words, it even searches mails which have the attachments. And even if the attachment contains those words, it will tell you that these mails are the ones which contain these particular words. So it is able to go behind your email and also look at your attachments and tell you that these attachments contain these words, okay? Doesn't have greater than, size is greater than, especially useful for, deleting heavy mails. So you can say if size greater than 5 MB or 10 MB something, see the heavy mails and delete it in case you don't have space on your email app out over there, right? Day within, you want to search for all those mails. There's a guy who has been sending mail for last 5 years, but you want to search only those mails which has come in the last 1 month. Then you can go and toggle it over here and say that you want to search only those mails which have come in the last 1 month for that matter. You can also say, search all the mails. You can search only your inbox. You can search particular labels out over there. So you can search your spam folder, read mails, unread mails. You've got plenty of options out over here. And you can also search only those mails which have that particular as attachment in it. So those mails which don't have an attachment, you don't need to search, because you knew that sender had sent you a mail with an attachment out there. So you can only do that. And you can all your chats that you do on the Hangout are automatically archived over here in the email box. So if you don't want to include your chats, you can say don't include your chat conversations. So these are some of the advanced things. And when you put in something over here, say when you want to create, this is about search. So search is basically just filtering, getting you all those mails which match the search criteria. But if you want to set a filter is something which is kind of a rule that you can set to that going forward, all those mails which match this particular rule should be, this particular action should be taken. So in Outlook, you have a rule, right, wherein all the mails which come from a particular client should be automatically moved into a particular folder. So if you want to do that, then you can do the similar thing out over here also, wherein you can say that all mails which have come from, say, bharat@neuralbits.com, and you can create a filter and say that I want that it is, there's a label which is applied to it, and you can choose which label you want to apply. Either you can create a new label, or you can use one of the existing labels out over here. So I already have a label called Bharat Neural Bits, and I say, okay, apply this particular label, or forward it to this particular person, or delete it, or never send it to spam. So sometimes you see some of your mails are going to spam. I don't want those particular mails from those particular users going to spam. You can say never send it to spam, right? Or mark it as important and things like that, right? So these are some of the options that you have in terms of Gmail itself. If you look at the Compose is also fantastic over here. Some features that are not there in any other app out over there. Of course, you have the CC and the BCC is on the top. You can send a blind carbon copy to multiple people or CC to a few people in your team. Apart from that, you have the attachment option. You have a regular attachment option, which is from your hard disk. You also have it from a Google Drive out over there. So you can attach files from your Google Drive and share it with other users there. You can insert a photo. You can attach a photo. You can insert a photo. Like if you want this, photograph coming here in the mail section itself, then you can insert a photo, and you can also kind of turn confidential mode on off, wherein the person can use it only with a password out over there. You can insert a signature. You cannot forward it to other people in the confidential mode, etc. You can insert a signature. My signature is automatically installed, but if you want to insert, you can delete the signature and you can toggle the signature to a different signature if you want to. The signature is automatically coming because I have a default signature, but in case I want a different one, I can toggle it and use a different one for that matter. Of course, there is this Google Drive which I shared with you, that you can pull your mails from your online storage. So similar to your LAN network storage, you have this online storage where there can be files which are common for your entire organization, like your brochure, catalog, your Excel sheet, your rate cards, your PAN card, your Aadhaar card, etc. Of course, your Aadhaar cards are there. You have a personal folder and you have a shared folder. So whatever is personal, you can keep it in a personal folder. Whatever is shared with your team, so you have the shared with me kind of an option on the top. You can share it with you can pick it up from there and you can attach it over here. It goes as a link. So it is not taking away the email space of that particular users out there, right? And of course, you can insert a link, you can insert a smiley, and all those options are available. More importantly, one fantastic option which is there is that you can schedule a mail. I don't know how many of you all know, send ke baaju mein there's a small arrow. There's a small arrow next to send button, and there you can schedule your mail. So say in the night, 2 o'clock, you're composing a mail and you don't want the person to know that you have sent it at 2 o'clock for whatever reasons, then you can go and schedule it and it will go to him in the morning at 10 o'clock for that matter. So all scheduled mails are saved in draft, and at that particular time it gets sent. In case you don't want it to get sent, then you can go to your draft folder and you can delete that scheduled for mail out there. You can also kind of, go to what you call as the, you say sometimes, I remember, that I need to ask a particular client for payment, and you don't want to, for me, it's in the top of my mind, but in terms of, it doesn't appear very right to send out a mail at night 2 o'clock or morning 8 o'clock telling the customer, please make the payment. So you rather want to keep it slightly subtle and you want to send it out at 11 o'clock or something. But at the same time, you want to remove it from the top of your mind. So in those cases also, I use the schedule option out over there, wherein I remember it in the night, I'm sitting free, I'm going through my account pending statement. I send out a mail to them, or my team member also uses it actually. They send out a mail to them, but they schedule it for morning 11 o'clock so that it doesn't come as a first thing in front of the customer's eyes when he opens his eyes in the morning, right? You don't want that to be the first thing. You don't want to lose your relationship with the client with that kind of those kind of mails out there. So these are some fantastic things that we have with Gmail itself. Friends, if you all agree with me that I have been able to share some advanced features that you didn't know about Gmail, I do want you to share fantastic out over there, so that I know that I'm sharing something which has been useful as a takeaway for you. Maybe a small takeaway, but it has been something useful for you. So you can either type fantastic or useful, whichever way you feel about the entire thing, so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. Come on, guys. That is the only thing. I'm sharing so much for you all free out there on a nice Sunday evening, taking away time from my family also out here. So I would want definitely that show of hands of out there, right? Type it very simple. Just a you also is good enough. You don't need to type the entire thing. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for any money out there. So even if you type useful, I'm not going to say, okay, now that you find it useful, make a payment for me, right? So just have a show of energy, some show of hands, so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. Come on, I need more show of hands. Come on. I deserve it, right? If not, it's okay. You feel it's not, then you can say, you can just keep quiet. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Now that keeps my energy moving and it helps me to share more things with you. So coming back to the slide itself, if we spoke about, the communication aspect is what I discussed in quite in detail with you, because I think that's where it all starts from at the end of the day. So we spoke about the three challenge areas, and first was the communication. I think the communication is quite well taken over here. Now let's look at the online collaboration between employees and departments. So let's look at some of the collaboration tools out there. And lastly, we will look at the online data collection and reporting automation tools out over there. So coming back to it itself in Gmail, you know that we have the first collaboration tool that you have is Drive itself, which is an online storage tool. It all starts from there. So you can upload your documents out here in two ways. One is that you can come to, as I told you, every app of Google has got its own URL. So you can see on the top that the Drive URL has become drive.google.com. How do you access it? On your Gmail, you have this 9 dot square grid. You can need to click on it and you need to go to the Drive section out over here. Or you can directly type drive.google.com on your browser window and you can log in with your Google account and access it out over here. So these are the two things that you can do. Now in the Drive itself, you can create folders. You can upload your files to folders by clicking on this new button on the left hand side. You can do a file upload. You can do a complete folder upload if you have a complete folder to be uploaded from your laptop or out there. You can do that. You can go ahead and create some of these new documents from here, new Google Docs, new Google Sheets, new Google Slides, etc. from here. Google Forms, everything you can do from here, from the more section, the Google Forms and so on. So these are some things that you already have out over there, right? Maybe I would want some water with it. Now you already have these things out over here. Now, what you also have is that on the left hand side, you can see that there is a My Drive, which is your personal drive. No one else has an access to it. Then you have the Shared with Me, where it is shared with people out over there, right? So these are the two drives that you get out over there. Then you have the new computers coming out over here, which is more of the Google Drive itself gives you a utility called as Google File Drive System. So you can go to Google and you can search for Google File Drive System. I need a bottle. Google File Drive System. And this particular utility you can download. What happens is that when you download this particular utility, of course, I'm not using this, but for many of them who have the need for having a network storage kind of a system out at their place, there is a small another folder that gets added in your Explorer window. It is called as the G drive. So you all are using the you all are using you all are using C drive, D drive, and you have a network drive in your office, right? So similarly, you have a G drive, a Google Drive, which gets added for you when you download this particular utility. And there you can go and create folders and you can put all your files that you want to upload onto the Google Drive out over there. So you're not coming onto a browser way and using, one is by the browser way. This is the browser way of using Google Drive. Other is by using the Windows Explorer folder that you're more used to in the office, etc. So you go to your Google Drive, you create folders, you upload your files, you share it with your team, and even they can contribute to that particular folder and so on and so forth, actually. Right. So these are some things that you can definitely do out over here. What you also have is that with every folder that you create, whether it is in your offline way or you do it in the browser method, every folder you can go, you can right click and you can share it with people out over there. You can share it with people out over here. You can also see on the top also you have these three small icons available. You have the link, get the link to share it with other people. You have the share with people out over there directly, the persons that you want to share with. You can delete it and so on. So you have some of these options available out over here. So there are two ways. Either you can go from the top or you can come here and you can right click and you can set up those options. You can even give the folder a different color so as to differentiate or have a color based differentiation between different folders. It's a visual tool of identifying your folder very quickly out over there, right? Now, yes, this shareable link, if you look at it, is for sharing it with people in your organizations. You can tell them, click on this link and come over here. You can go to your Google Gmail and you can attach the folder out over there. You can, so there are multiple ways of sharing it, right? So that is one thing, or you just click on share, but you will definitely need to give them share permissions before you share the link. So that is something that is very important, that you need to give them share permissions. So say if I want to share it with someone in my organization, I can share it with someone in my organization. I can give them a role of primary viewer or editor out over here. So editor is someone who can add files, etc. He can delete the files in that particular folder, etc. A viewer is someone who cannot do those things. Of course, delete is possible only if he's the owner of that particular file. If he's not the owner, he will not be able to delete it. But for a PDF, etc., they can go ahead and delete it also, right? So that is something which is possible out over here. Now this is one thing that you can allow them to. And if it is a PowerPoint slide or something that you have created, a Google slide or something that you have created, then there you can, when you're doing a share, he has three options. He has a very basic option of only comment out over there. You have an option of viewer, you have an editor option, which you already saw, and there he also has one more option called comments. So he can only share comments. He cannot do anything else apart from that. You can also make other people's co-owner of this particular file. So I can go and make Priya as the owner of this particular file. So there will be two owners of this particular file out over there. One is that you have yourself as the owner, and you also have another person as the owner. So in WhatsApp, you must have seen that with groups, etc. in WhatsApp, you have multiple group admins out over there, right? So here you also can have multiple group owners out over, file owners out over here, so that you can manage things out over here, right? So these are some things which are really possible out over here. Now, let's quickly look at some of the other features. This is more about Google Drive. It's a storage place. You can share it with your team. You can decide who is the editor, viewer, etc. out over here. Now let's move it slightly further from here. Say I go on to the next app out here in terms of a collaborative app. So say I have the sheets. The Excel sheet is something that we use very commonly across every business out over there. And when we look at Google Sheets itself, it offers you a certain advantages, which I think you would not be able to get any other way out over there. So for example, say in my particular case, I have say this particular sheet, which I would want to share, say a MIS document. So we maintain an internal MIS is a kind of a monthly, it's a kind of a dashboard for me from where I can navigate to all my files, and I maintain it as an indexing system. So you either maintain an indexing system which is based on folder in the drive, or you maintain an indexing system which is based on sheets itself. So I'm using the sheet method for indexing my various documents out over there, and I am able to navigate through various documents from here across my entire department. So the color coding tells me which department document I'm actually looking at that point of time. So you can either go and create folders in your Google Drive and then use it, or you do it from here. So I prefer to use this particular way of things, and I'm fairly, that's how we use it. But if you were to be any Excel sheet, it could be a product rate card, it could be whatever Excel sheet or task sheet or whatever. When you put it on the Google Sheet, the one biggest advantage that you get, it becomes immediately collaborative. So anyone and everyone can see this sheet as long as you have gone and clicked on the share button on the top and you've shared it with your users, then everyone is a part of that particular sheet. So you can see that I've shared it with all my company employees out over there. And that way, all of them can access this particular sheet and navigate through the various sheets which belong to their department. If they go to those documents which are not part of their department, they will get an error that it is not, you do not have access to this particular document. So this is one way that I take care of things out over here. But it becomes collaborative. So you can have a sheet which is only meant for your marketing team. You can have a sheet which is only meant for your accounts team. You can have a sheet which is meant only for your design team and so on. And give them those sharing permissions, and only they have access to that particular sheet. Now that is one part. Now the second part is that version control gets built in automatically. Auto save is built in automatically. So on the top, you can see that this particular cloud icon. So whenever we are doing any particular updates, it is automatically getting updated, and you can see the document status over here. You can move this particular sheet to any folder. So if you are using a drive kind of approach and you have come here, you have created a new sheet. So from file, you have gone and created a new sheet for that matter, but you want to save the sheet to a particular folder. Then you can automatically do that by clicking on the, it's getting loaded right now. Yeah, so it's got loaded. I'm just going to say sheet name is only for my reference. For Google, everything is a link actually at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm giving a sheet name out over here, say test sheet. I'm giving some random data out of it. So you can see save to drive came in automatically, which was not there when it was a new sheet. And then I'm putting in some data, say Ram, Priya or something. And it's automatically saving it. You can see that, right? And you can move it to a different folder. So I want to move it into my, say, template folder out over there. I can do that. So I want to move it into my template folder. And I say move here. So template folder is shared to multiple people. So it's giving me alert that will be visible to others also, since the entire folder has been shared with one of my team members out over there, which is fairly okay with me, right? So this I have been able to do it. So you have multiple ways. Either you go into a drive, create a folder, and from there you create a doc, etc. Keep it in those folders out there, or you create a file and then you move it to a folder, whichever way it works out here. So these are some of the basic tools. You also have a versioning control which is inbuilt into it. So you have collaboration, you have auto saving, you have move into folders and things like that. You also have version control. So if you can see over here, we have a version history out over here. So where I can go and say, see version history, and it will show me my past version history. And this document is really old, guys. I can go back to as much as I want and I can see the entire version history. And not only can I see it, I can also restore it at whichever point of time I want. So you can see the entire version out here. I can just scroll down and I can see my older versions. Say I want this particular version, I can click on it. It's loading that particular version right now. And when this version gets loaded, I can restore this particular version also. Right? You can see this green color button on the top. I can go and restore this version at any point of time. At times, what has happened for me is that, I have created one particular client proposal, and then there was another similar client, similar industry who came up and had a similar requirement. So I would open up that particular proposal, and then, in my haste, I would start typing directly out over there. Normally, I'm supposed to create a copy, and then I'm supposed to start typing. But in my haste, I have started already typing over there. So at that, nowadays what happens is that if I've started doing that, I do that and then I create a copy of this new document. So you have in this option, file, create a copy, make a copy. So I create a new copy of this particular document. I rename this new copy and I go back to the older one and I go back to the file version history of the older one and I switch it back to the older version. So my entire data doesn't get lost, even if I've done a save. If you look at Microsoft Word, etc., if you've done a save, then it is difficult for you to do a Control Z, etc., and go back to the previous document, especially if you've closed it. If you've closed the document and you reopen it, then you cannot go back and do Control Z, undo, and go back to your old document. But here, even if I've closed this document, no issues. I can just open it at any point of time and go back to a previous version of this particular document. So in case any of your members by mistake has deleted the data or whatever it may be, you don't need to worry at all. As long as you are the owner of the document, you just need to go back to your old version and you are back with the entire data in front of you. Right? So that is an advantage that you have. You also have the suggestions where you can see the suggestions which have been done by the other members. You can switch it on like you have in the Excel sheet, in the Word documents, etc., where you can keep your suggestions on, etc., and you can see what other guys have changed. Now here you can see that there is this one more feature, which is the document editor can see the view history of the history for this particular file. This is one more thing where you can see what people are doing on this particular file, who has done what, whom have they shared it with, etc. When have they shared it? All these things are visible out over here. The viewer trend, when did they open it? What are they looking at? Have they commented anything out over here? Have they shared with anyone out over there? You can change the settings and things like that, right? So these are some things that you can also see some people whom you have removed from this particular document at a particular point of time. All those things are possible out here. So if some of your team members are sharing this with someone, you can get a quick idea of who has done what, and that is something which is possible. Okay. You also can see the notifications, if there are any notifications of this particular document, or any comments that any of your members have posted. You can see those things out over here. So these are some of the things. All the Google formulas, all the Excel formulas are completely available in Sheets out here. It has also got the similar tabs at the bottom. It's all kind of same. You can even lock some of these sheets out there by right clicking and saying, lock this particular document out over here, right? Protect sheet. So by protecting the sheet, you can protect this sheet from other users. So within a sheet, you have got 3-4 sheets. You can protect one of the tabs. We call it tabs over here, right? So we can protect one of the tabs. We can protect some of the content of the tab, not necessarily the entire thing. Some of the content you can say is non-editable, and some of the contents are editable. So there are so many kind of options available out over here. This is about Excel. Let me just move forward from here. I think there was one particular chat. Let me just see what is the query. Okay. I think you have just mentioned very informative note. Yep. Thank you so much. So these are some of the options which are definitely available in Google Excel sheet. I'll just take it one level up from here, and those similar options that we spoke about in Sheets is completely available in Docs also, because Word is Word at the end of the day. It's whether you use a Open Office or you use a LibreOffice or you use a Microsoft Office. Of course, there are some advanced features in Microsoft Office which may not be available, but most of the times we are not using many of these features. So I create my entire proposals out here. I've created my header. You can see those things, and I use it in plenty. Because this particular doc, sheets, etc. is unlimited. It's not counted in your entire storage out over there. So even with 30 GB storage, if I'm going to upload a Microsoft document out over here, then it is counted as a part of the storage. But if I'm uploading a Google Doc out over here, it's not counted as a part of the storage. One more advantage that you have with Google Drive is that if you're uploading even a Microsoft Doc and the Excel sheet out over here, and if you are editing the file from the Google Drive, if you are opened it in your Explorer window and you're editing it, then the other guy also gets to know that you're currently on that particular document. He's given an alert or notification that you as a user are making some changes on the document, and version control is built in. So if he goes ahead and still makes some changes, then he will be told that, you will have to it will be created as a new document. You will not be allowed to make changes in the same document at the same time in a Microsoft Office or Word document that you're sharing on a drive. So it is even built in as a collaborative tool even for Microsoft Office, etc., but not to the extent that you have it in Google Docs and Google Sheets out here. Rajendra ji, I will answer your questions. Let me just finish this and I will definitely answer some of the questions that you have. Now, you in the docs, same thing, version control is built in. You have these trending, you have this activity review that you can do. You can share it with multiple people. You can do all your Google Docs functions out over here. Your team can be simultaneously adding and kind of changing things. So we we are on the phone call. I call up one of my team members and say, okay, this is a document I have shared with you. This is the scope of the project. These are the things that the customer has asked for. This is the website sitemap that we have in front of us with us. And she can go ahead and make some changes right there in real time, and I can see what changes she's making out there. And on the right over here, right now I'm only there, but if someone else joins me, like I would request Sarita to join me on the MIS document if possible. If there are multiple people out here, at that point of time, there is a small icon which comes here, which shows me who are the other people from my team who are currently also viewing the document along with me. So thereby I know that I'm not the only person viewing this document, but there are other guys also viewing this document at that particular point of time. So in that way, we automatically know that they are all on the same window at this particular point of time. Sarita, if you're there, do come on this MIS document so that I can share that as a demo out here actually. Now coming back to some of the questions that Rajendra ji has shared with us over here. One is that minimum how many emails you have to purchase. You can even purchase one email user, and you can keep adding users and deleting users as your company grows. So you don't need to buy everything at one time. You can buy as many as you want, and you can keep adding a user and removing your user as the business and economics and that particular business model itself goes and changes for that matter. uh, how many can you send at one go? You have an option of, I think, sending around 150 emails in the BCC at one go, or even in the two for that matter. Of course, you wouldn't want to put it in two, but in one day you have a limit of sending 500. So more than 500, your email gets locked in terms of sending. Your sending option gets locked, and you will have to come back to next day 24 hours ke baad your email sending limit will get opened up once again, and then only you will be able to send out emails. What if 30 GB storage gets exhausted? You have an add-on storage available, 50 GB, 100 GB, 200 GB, etc. available for you, and you can add on the storage to one email account for whomsoever it has got exhausted. Especially for directors of the company, it does get exhausted, or for the backup email, it gets exhausted quickly. You can definitely add storage over there. But typically 30 GB storage is about 2 to 3 years email for you. It is 2 to 3 years of email minimum for you for that matter. Purchase additional storage or delete unused items. Ashwin, yes, you can purchase additional storage or delete items which you don't need. Say old data used, firewall encrypted hard drives. No, that is not suggested in the Google, because hard drives tend to get corrupted. It tends to get lost. If your office catches fire, etc., it tends to get lost. The advantage of Google Drive is that your data is available even if there is a kind of a disaster at your environment, wherever you are at. The data is still available for you. So kindly please don't go away from the systems and processes that you are setting up to take care even from a disaster management perspective. So don't use hard drives, etc. You may use it as an additional option, but not as the primary option. Google has got a better cloud infrastructure wherein your data would not be lost in all probability, 99.99% of the times at least. Purchase additional storage or delete. Okay, fine. Okay. Guys, I think that's fairly. I hope I have answered your questions, Rajendra, out over there. Now, coming back to some of the apps out over here once again, is that, let me just come back to some of these apps out here. Yes, you have some of these other apps which are available. Calendar, we have seen. Slides, I don't want to get into it. Slides is similar to PowerPoint. Of course, the amount of features that you get in a Microsoft Office PowerPoint is lot more. It's a lot more powerful in terms of Microsoft Office is a lot more powerful. But most of the times, I don't really need that kind of powerful features. So for one or two accounts, we do have a licensed version of Office. For most of the others, we have asked them to shift to Google Slides so that we can save on the cost, and they are not really using, the accounts team never uses a PowerPoint slide for that matter. So for many of our team members, we asked them to switch, and anyway in COVID times they're going to work remotely, so we want them to share the data with us online so that we also have access to that data. It doesn't need to be on their machine at the end of the day, right? So we are using in plenty these particular tools out here. Now coming back to some of the advanced add-ons or productivity tools, I'm not getting into chat. Of course, with chat, I can tell you one thing, that yes, you have the left-hand side, you have a small chat. It's slightly cumbersome to do a chat over here. But if you go to chat.google.com, it opens up a complete window out here for you. Especially, this is available only for a paid user, where you can chat one-on-one. You can create rooms out over here. You can have group chats. So you have a marketing room, you have an accounts room, you have a different chat room. So you post a message, it goes through all three of them, or in your particular team out over there. And this is available only for paid users. For the free ones, you don't have chat.google.com coming out over there for you. So you can take advantage of chatting. You also have bots if you want to set up automatic bots, replies to people, etc. You can take advantage of this chat itself. Google Meet, it's slightly difficult to take it over a Zoom session. Yes, but you can. It's very simple. If you're joining some meeting, you can go through your calendar link and join. Or if they're given you a link, you can just click on it and join. If you have a user ID or something, you can just click on this join a meeting. You can paste it over here and you can get started. If you're starting a meeting itself, you can just click on start a meeting out here. I will just need to change the tab, I think. Yeah, I think it's share. And your camera, etc., gets enabled out over here. You can disable the camera, you can, and then you can just click on the join now meeting and you can join. If you're presenting something, you can just use the present option. If you're just presenting a PowerPoint slide, etc., and you're not wanting to do a face-on-face meeting, you can use the present option out over here. So it's very straightforward. You can see that when I create a meeting, it automatically gives a pin number, etc., the way you would have it anywhere else. There is a URL on the top, and you also have a pin number coming below it. So these are the two things. Of course, when you click join now also, it creates a link for you, which you can directly copy and you can immediately share with your team members out over there. It's a very straightforward, one of the most straightforward apps that, Meet tool that I have seen out over there, which is easy for any lay person to just go and get started out here. Now, just coming back to some of the advanced things that you can do out over here, guys. If you all are all so much so on with me, just type me out over there so that I know that you all are with me so much so far, right? Just type me out over there, and I do know that you all are with me so much so far. I'm just moving on to the last part of our session, which is the productivity tool, the most important part, which gives you the edge of automating certain tasks, etc. So stay on with me so that you can take the full advantage of this particular session for today. Yes, this particular session is more of a knowledge session. We definitely we have our ask is nothing much, but in case you do have a requirement of getting started with G Suite for your own office, we would definitely recommend you to get started. One, if you want to get started with us, we can definitely help you and handhold you through the entire session. And if you're already with someone else, then you can also migrate your G Suite app with us. But there is a provision available where you can migrate it from one reseller to the other reseller, and we will be happy to assist you. We will be happy to provide training for your teams, a much more detailed training where they can also get started at a similar level. This session is more for business owners, of course, but they can also come on board and they can get enabled with the different aspects. They can understand the different aspects and use it the right way, more importantly. And for those who are micro entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, if you're still planning to use Gmail for whatever reasons, yes, you can definitely make advantage. You can use these tools to your advantage, and down the line when you are benefited and you want to delegate things to your staff, you want to be on your business and not be working in your business, at that point of time, definitely get started with G Suite, and we will always be there to assist you even at that particular point of time. If you have any friends of yours whom you would want to recommend to us, do let us know, and we will be happy to share some margins with you as our and help you be our partners at the end of the day, affiliate partners, and thereby have a win-win relationship at the end of the day with each one of you. So that is something that I would welcome all of you all to come here and be with us for that matter. Uh, Coming back to these Google add-ons tool itself, which is more of adding more productivity by automating some of the tasks. So we already looked at the productivity tools, etc., in various ways. We looked at how you can streamline some of the things by creating those sheets, etc. So for example, in my MIS document, I shared with you that we have created a lot of these department-wise things. And if I were to go into any particular department for that matter, like for example, this is the central task sheet that we have which we have recently started, where we have asked our team members to kind of put down the entire task that they are doing each day wise, and it's all configured department wise. There are different tabs for each department, and the departments in each tab, they put down the activities that they are doing, and we are also measuring how quickly they are responding to the customers. We also have some incentives based on that. If they are able to quickly respond within certain time limits, then we are giving them certain additional bonuses, etc. So you can incentivize the entire thing so that if people are responding in certain ways, and the way that you would want them to, and it is beneficial for you and for the customer, and then it has to be beneficial for the team also. So you can incentivize your team in certain ways. We also have our web projects that keep coming across to us. We keep sharing that in the web projects tab out over here. And for each of the client that comes on board, we have created another link of indexes out over here, which allows us to, which allows my team to go to each of the projects which is out over there and see what is that we have shared as a specification out here. So this is the rate card which was shared with the customer, and we have kept it over here so that the customer knows that my designer knows that this is the rate card which has been shared with the customer. And when he's creating a shopping section, he knows what is the product and the pricing out over here. Similarly, if he wants to see the complete brief about the customer's project, so every project that comes in, I am more of doing the client servicing at this point of time. So I create this document so that he knows what is a sitemap and he doesn't do spelling mistakes, etc. He's able to pick up things out from here, and he's able to kind of, kind of come over and take the content from here, take the reference sites and all those things. And he's able to put the site in place, the new site in place accordingly. So in that way, you can also collaborate with your team, your documents across multiple departments. Go ahead and do it with multiple departments out there. One more thing that you can do before I miss out and go on to the productivity tool is that you can just go on to your, this particular Google Forms is one more tool that I think most business owners are not taking most advantage of. And it's a very powerful tool out over there. What Google Forms does is that it allows you to standardize some of your data collection process. We had the third thing in place, in terms of data collection. How do you standardize your data collection processes? So you have this forms which is available out over here, and you can go and create a new form out over here. And what happens is that you can set up a new form, you can give a title, you can set up some, and everything in Google. The best part is that there are hundreds of developers continuously working out here, So customer or something, if I were to cust for that matter, I'm just putting an example. And you were to start, typing out some questions out over here, say for example, name, and you will see that automatically from multiple, sorry, this is an option. I go on the top, in the question I put name, you can see on the right hand side, it's multiple choice, right? It will get automatically changed to short answer. So there is a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence which is built into all the Google apps out over there, and that's where it becomes a very effective app. Most of the other email servers are not moving at the same space of development, and they have become kind of outdated in today's world. So if you want something which is more in keeping with today's time, so that because even if you're not using it, your vendors, your competitors, your customers are already using it, and they are going to move forward with their own productivity and efficiency. And if you're not using it, at the end of the day, your business slowly goes down. So it is very important that we all use it so that we can kind of, be optimum with our offerings to our customers, be efficient with our offerings so that we are competing out there. Even Jumbo King came up with the same tools and processes that McDonald's does, and that is where Jumbo King is able to compete with them. But if you have to use the same kadai and oil kind of a method, I think you will not be able to compete with the new age businesses out over there. So you need to change. You don't have a choice with that, right? So you can come here, set up a form over here. I'll just share one of the forms that is already existing out here so that I'm not spending my time typing out. But you can create this form for every department that you have out over there, every department for that matter, whether it's a vendor, whether it's employees, whether it's your customer. For every department, you will need to have these forms created so that you can standardize your data collection process. In even your task completion, people can come and fill up the form, and it could be standardized out there so that people are filling up through select boxes, etc. They're not typing out everything their own way. And when you standardize it, then in the Excel sheet, if you're collecting the data, then you're able to set up sort and filter options, and you can sort your entire data out over there. So that in that way, it becomes a very effective tool. So here I have created a customer sheet. I have even asked my customer to tell me, who is the salesperson who is coordinating with. Most challenging point was, getting the GSTN number and the state that he's operating from. Since we have customers all over from India, and at times, we are creating the bill and we have by mistake set it up for Maharashtra address. I've just put Mumbai, and later we come to know that their billing operation is actually from Haryana or maybe from Dehradun or something like that. And then we have to go back and change the invoice once again. So it's a kind of a rework we wanted to avoid. So anytime a new customer comes on board, we first tell him, please fill up this form so that we can collect your data. And then my billing team gets started with a quotation, invoice, or whatsoever it is at that particular point of time, my sales as well as my billing team. Now, once the form creation is fairly easy, you just need to go and clicking on this plus button each time, and that particular thing will come up. You type the question, you choose the type of thing comes up. Say, for example, rate us on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a feedback form. So rate us on a scale of 1 to 10. Now you will see that automatically on the right side, it has changed to linear scale. And it says 1 to 10 over here, where the first 1 stands for worst and 10 stands for excellent. So that my customer knows that it's not one doesn't mean best. I have done feedback forms in my training programs, and you can mark it as required. So customers sometimes think that 1 means very good. So we have to state what is 1 actually and what is 10 actually for our scale actually. So this is something which is very important. Once you've done that, if you do a preview out over here, you can see that the scale automatically comes like this. It's a linear scale of 1 to 10. If it's a multiple choice, it comes one below the other, but in a linear scale, it comes automatically like this. So these are a few things that you can very quickly and rapidly do on Google feedback form. You can standardize. You can delete a tab that you don't want. I just click on delete, it gets deleted. Once you have set up the form, you need to go on to responses, and the responses are automatically captured. But if you want to capture it in an Excel sheet, you need to click on this green icon out over here, and all the responses get captured onto an Excel sheet out over there. So here you can see it's already captured. We have just started recently using it, this particular sheet out here, especially when I got kicked off and I said, let me just create one more new system for myself. Now this sheet, it gets automatically captured out in the Excel sheet. Whenever you want to send this particular form to your end customers to fill up, you need to click on the send button. And there are 3 ways that you can do it. One is that you can send it as an email to them, or you can click on this link, and here you have a shortened URL. You can pick up the shortened URL, copy it, and you can share it over WhatsApp or email along with that to them, and they will be able to fill it out, and then you will get to know that they are filled up. You also can send it, you can embed it on your website. So if you're doing a training program, etc., and nowadays a lot of COVID programs are being done, webinars are being created, you can go and click this form and embed it on your web page so that a customer can come and fill it out on the website itself, especially if it's a contact form or it's a registration form for an event or something like that. People can fill up this form and it can be set up. You also have the width and pixel that you want to have for this particular form, and you can set it up on your web page itself. So these are different ways that you can share this form with your end customers and collect the responses out over there. Now, whenever someone, this is one thing which is very important now. So you have the forms, you have the docs, you have the sheets. Now, how do you start using all these 3 together? So this is where we get on to the productivity tools out over here. And let me quickly, close some of these windows so that we can quickly get started with that kind of productivity tools itself without wasting further time, right? So guys, if you all are with me so much so far, any questions so far, just type it out on the window over there so that I know that you have a question, right? I hope I was able to fairly demonstrate how to use some of these tools for building productivity and efficiency into your business. If you're already doing it for your business, just share that, we are already using some of these options out there. I would want you all to say we do out there, so that I know that you're already using some of these tools, and others can also know that you're already using it out there. So it is a kind of a conviction that I'm not the only person who's doing it. There are other people out over there. So say I do or something in the chat window, so that other people quickly get to know that you all are using some of these tools out over there. Now let's look at some of the few add-on tools as something that I want to talk about. So I'm talking about 4 or 5 add-on tools, but you need to go and explore something, what is good for your own business out over there. Just give me a moment. Yeah, perfect. So you need to go and explore some of the tools which are more apt for your particular business. But then, so I have one thing that I want to share with you is a pricing calculator that I created for the Amazon service that we provide out there at the end of the day. In fact, we created two calculators. We not only created this, but we also created one more calculator. Anyway, what the advantage is that, the Amazon pricing is really, really complex for the hosting services. And they have got so many different parameters based on which that your pricing gets determined at the end of the day. On the left hand side here, you can see that there are so many parameters. Now for us earlier, it was very difficult to come up with a clear pricing for our customer because there are so many parameters, and for every customer, it is a unique custom. AWS is, bill at the end of the day. So you use it and you get billed like an electricity bill at the end of the day on based on what you've consumed out there. But the advantage is that you get to use as much as you want. So you don't have to go and keep giving an application each time कि बॉस आज मेरे वेबसाइट में ज़्यादा लोग आने वाले हैं तो मेरा अभी कैपेसिटी बढ़ा दो, और अभी आज मेरे वेबसाइट में कोई नहीं आ रहा है तो मेरा कैपेसिटी घटा दो. So you, as much as you use is what you build. You use nothing, you get build nothing. You use more, you're getting a lot more traffic on your site. Your server still doesn't crash. It keeps load balancing out there, and you get billed more at the end of the day. So that is a pattern. So we created an Excel sheet wherein based on, you choose the server configuration out over there, and you choose whatever server you have, and the price automatically changes out over here. You can see the price changing, and you say what is the general purpose storage the customer needs, whether he needs 100 GB or whether he needs, say, for that matter, say 500 GB. And the pricing automatically gets updated. What is the data transfer that he needs in terms of S3 storage request? It's around, say, 30,000 requests, and the price automatically changes out over there. The amount of S3 storage that itself that he might be using. Now, these are some terminologies which I don't want to get into, what is S3 storage and so on. But you can understand that there are so many parameters, and the price needs to be determined based on what the customer wants at the end of the day. So we created a calculator using some formulas out over there, simple Excel formulas out here with the dollar, because the dollar pricing is what I get on Amazon out there. So with the dollar versus Indian pricing, and here I have kept what is my ongoing dollar rate at any point of time. And I have also kept what are the different server configurations, what is the CPU and RAM and hourly rate, because Amazon gives me hourly rate. Then the monthly rate, which is derived based on the hourly rate into the number of, this. And then we have the, in rupees, we have converted it because at the end of the day, I need to give for my customer the rates in rupees for that matter. So these are some things that you can do as you keep moving along. And again, it's shared with my entire team. So my rate calculator, you can have a rate card or you have a rate calculator. It's up to you. So one of my tire customers who sells tires on tires, he has got 4 tire workshops in and around Thane. He keeps his entire tire rate card out there. So they keep getting those Excel sheets from Seat, Michelin tires, and so many people. And every time they, that team used to sometimes go back to the old Excel sheet and give a wrong rate actually. So now they are keeping one folder and they're keeping all their rates, the latest ones only in that particular folder. So it ensures that their staff is not giving the wrong rates to their team out there actually, to their clients out there. So you can create different things out there. I have multiple such calculators. I'm putting a few examples out here for you all to understand the possibilities. Now, mail merge is one of the most useful feature that you have as an add-on out over here. Now, what are add-ons? Add-ons give you an additional functionality, and these are actually done by third-party service providers. So on your Google Docs, on your Google Sheets, on your Google Slides, everywhere you have an additional menu called add-ons. And in add-ons, if you go to get add-ons, by default, you will have initially no add-ons. If you go to get add-ons, you have a G Suite marketplace out over here, wherein a lot of people have created a lot of tools out there, like on your Android Play Store or your iPhone store out there, iOS store out there. You've got so many kind of additional apps, you've got so many apps out there which are available out over there. Similarly, we have a lot of apps which have been created in particular for G Suite, and it works along with your G Suite tools out over there. So for example, I can go and search for a mail merge. I know if many of you all would have noted in Word, in Microsoft Office, we have mail merge, which we use either for creating personalized letters. So one CA firm had reached out to me that I want to send out an invite to everyone saying that we have a inauguration of our office and we want to personalize the letter. So we want to have dear so and so name, and we want to say that this is the inauguration time, kindly be present, etc. And he wanted to also create labels out over there wherein he can put those labels on the top of the envelope and send it across. So that mail merge allows you that particular functionality. Also, mail merge allows you the functionality of sending out mails to a set of people. So many offices use birthday reminders to their clients by using mail merge, which is available in Microsoft Office. So you have a similar option available in G Suite also. In G Suite, mail merge is not used for creating labels, etc. It is used for creating mailers. It is used for sending out bulk mailing out here. Of course, there are some tools available for bulk mailing like MailChimp. You have got Constant Contact, you have got SendGrid, etc. But the advantage that you have with MailChimp is that it goes from Gmail to Gmail. So all your mails lands in the inbox of that particular person. So you can go and search for MailMerge app out here, and you can see that there are a few service providers who have created a mail merge app out here. So you have this mail merge for Gmail, you have mail merge, you have got this rapid mail merge and so on. Now there are, even though there are these multiple service providers who have created, these are third party service providers. These are kind of paid apps out over there. These are free plus paid apps. So some part is free, some part is paid. Okay. But it is still something worth exploring because these tools are extremely cost effective. So the entire mail merge costs $30 a year, which is roughly 2,000 rupees a year. But you get to send out 1,500 emails every day. Now, even if you're sending 1,500 emails as a kind of for your webinar or something, or for some of the new products that you have launched out over there, or maybe a kind of a happy Diwali greeting or something like that, then also it is worth it because every month, what are you spending? 100 rupees or something, and it's only one for the whole organization that you need, and you are still well to do, right? So MailMerge is one app that you have out over there which you can look at. You have something called as the Ad Reminder app. So you want to tell your team members that there is this particular activity that has been assigned to you, and hope you have finished it, and you have also updated the Google Sheet out over there, so that I don't have to keep calling you and asking you, boss, have you done it, etc. So it's an auto reminder kind of a tool. So Ad Reminder is one of the tools that you have available out over there. Now, whenever you are adding some of these tools, so you can see I have this install tool out over there. In MailMerge, I have another tool out. Whenever you're adding some of these add-ons to your G Suite, the one thing that you will need to keep in mind is that you take only those add-ons which have got at least a lakh of sales. The reason I'm saying 1 lakh at least of sales is that you are ensured that you are not taking an app which is kind of not being very well tested. 2000 3000 वगैरह रहेगा, तो you may end up risking your Gmail, because they get access to your Gmail in a term of API. They say when you are downloading an app on Play Store, they get access to your phone, they get access to various things on your phone. Similarly here, they're getting access to the API, because without which it cannot work, it cannot sync and coordinate and work out there. So you don't want to ensure, you want to ensure that it's a well tested, well used app which has got a very good rating out over there, and you are only using that particular app out over there. So mail merge, you can use this yet another mail merge which has got this 4.8 ratings. It has got 76 lakhs download. I use another one which is by Indian guy Amit Agarwal. I will just, and he gives me a very good Indianized support out there. So if you look at mail merge itself, I'm using this mail merge for Gmail, which is by Indian guy Amit Agarwal out there. So I'm using this particular one out there, and each of these ones, you have got a lot of sets of instructions on how to use it. So you don't need me or someone to really handhold you. Yes, if you want to, you can definitely get in touch with us and we can definitely help you. You've got a lot of these reviews, comments, you've got these screenshots, you've got some places, even YouTube links which are available, which you can use to check out how it works. Even if you go on to YouTube also, you will get some links out there. So you can have a look at their website, which is out here. Digital Inspiration is a company. On their website, they have these YouTube videos that they have placed over there. Instruction how to set it up and use it kind of videos. So you can go and explore some of these add-ons which you might be thinking, okay, can I have this particular functionality? And believe me, for every functionality that you're thinking about, there are many people who have the same problems. And there's already some vendor available out there who has already created a solution for those problems. All you need to do is go and search for it. Can I get a marketplace, some keyword that is related to your problem, and you may see that there is already a solution which is really available out over there, right? So these are some things that you can take advantage of. Let me show you how to use Mail Merge, which is a mass mailing tool available for you out over there. So I'll just open one of these docs out here and demonstrate it to you how to use Mail Merge. So 2-3 apps very quickly, maybe under 20-25 minutes is what I'm going to take. I know I'm slightly behind my schedule already, but please be patient with me. I just wanted to ensure you get to use it the right way and at the first go for that matter. So you have this add-ons. I have already installed this add-on Mail Merge. So you go to get add-on and you install it. It's as one single click, you get it installed. It's a freemium. So initially you have certain functionality free. If you want to use more of that, then you have to pay for it. So maybe up to 100 mails is free. If you want to send more than 100 mails automatically, then you need to go for the paid tool. So it's a freemium model everywhere. Now let me go to this Mail Merge with attachments. When you go to Mail Merge with attachments, now here you can see that I have a list of email IDs. You can have your entire business owners list and the email IDs. I have removed the email IDs because sometimes, बात करते करते गलती से चले गया, तो फिर it goes out to all those people and it's really embarrassing. So I just kept 2 email IDs for demo purposes. I'm just going to remove this yellow color so that it doesn't appear odd for you all out here. I'll make it white. Yeah. And you know what? My version control is in place. So when I want to go back to my entire list of email IDs, I just go to this file version and I pick up this old email IDs. So I'm toggling between business version control. So when I'm giving a demo, I use this. When I want to do my actual Mail Merge, I go back to the old document of my entire business owners database out there actually. Easy, right? So just type easy over there if you all have been with me so much so far, right? Now in Mail Merge, when you come to Mail Merge, you just click on Configure Mail Merge out over here. And when you click on Configure Mail Merge, fairly easy. I have this list of email IDs and the persons whom I want to send to. First, I have to send my sender ID, who is the sender. I'm putting in my own ID over here. I have purchased this on my email ID. You can purchase it on your marketing email ID or sales email ID in case you want the sender ID to be your sender ID. Okay. And then you say continue at the bottom over here. And then you want to enable this, in terms of what it is for. So G Suite webinar, and you want to enable track email opens, etc. You can enable that. And an unsubscribe link for people who want to unsubscribe from this particular list. If they want to unsubscribe, they can. And then you have a continue button out over here. Here you say, how are you going to compose the email? So you have 3 ways of doing it. One is that they give you their own visual editor, which is the most simplest and easiest to use. So I can just click on this new button for you. For me, it's edit because that's already something which I've composed out over there previously on this particular sheet. For every sheet, you can have a separate Mail Merge enabled for that particular sheet. So if you've got 5 Mail Merge, 5 sheets, one for business owners, one for trainers, one for staff, one for something else, then you can go and set up Mail Merge on each of these sheets and have a separate message set up over there. And here you can see I have set it up for the work remotely. I have a subject line. I have a compose button here. And here you can see that I have this image that I have used the same image tool, which is over here. So I can just go and pick up any image and drop it over here. It picks it up from my file. I can link, I can do bold, italic, whatever I can. So I'll just click it outside. It's been selected right now. So I can do that. I can do all those things. So I can give a link to this particular image by just clicking it and linking it to whichever page I want to. So if any people click on the image in terms of the link option, I can do that. So I just now removed the link actually. So those options are available out there for you. You can personalize the email. So in the sheet on the left-hand side, you can see I have the name column. So if I want to have a dear and the name coming automatically, dear got, okay, I'll just, So I'll just delete this, what I have put in earlier. And here at the bottom, you can see that there is insert merge field. You can just choose the name over here, and then personalization is very simply done, right? So all you need to do, or you need to just remember that whenever you want to take any field which is in the Excel sheet and put it here in this particular compose message, you just need to put it in double curly braces with the same column name, heading name that you have, and it will automatically, the value will get fetched from there. And for each row that you have, this mail is being sent. So each row, it will pick up that data, put it here, and then send it. So each row wise it works. So it is good for you. And then you come at the bottom here. I have clicked here to register. If you want to put a button, say a register button or something, then you can take an image from Google or create your image on Photoshop or something, and then you can link it using this link option, which is available over here. Right. So you can always link it. So here I have already linked it. I can edit it over here if I want to. Right. So it's as vanilla and as say plain and simple over here, nothing complex. Any layperson can use it for that matter. And you are able to follow the Google rules that you can send it out in a timed manner. It is not sent in BCC. What happens is you are blocking the queue, and that is where Gmail starts marking you as a spam. But whereas if you're using mail merge, it is one mail at a time, and everyone's email ID coming in the 2 email box, and their content is also getting personalized. Your open ratio goes up for you. It goes into the inbox of every person out over there. That also means that your open ratios go better, because inbox mein aata hai to people treat it seriously. Promotion mein aata hai to people don't treat it seriously out over there, right? So these are some advantages that you get by using mail merge out over here. And when you say, you can also opt for the Gmail draft option, wherein you need to have already created a mail in your Gmail. And here you just come and select that particular draft that you have created over there. And all the draft emails are seen in this particular select box. You need to select which one of this is going to be your mail that has to be sent out as a content mail. I have not done it yet. I had actually created one earlier, very way back. Let me see if I can pick it up for you. Say webinar marketing or something. So this particular mail gets out, gets sent to all the customers out over there. And then Gmail also, you have the image option, you have the bold, italic, and all those kind of things. It's a very similar visual editor. So whichever you're comfortable with, Gmail mein banao, usko draft karke rakho, send mat karo, and come here and select whatever subject line you kept over there, that will be visible over here. And you can just select it and then use it for sending it out from here. So you have either of these two options that are available out there for you. And then you can click on the continue button. You can click on the continue button, and then you can send out the test mail. So I can send it out a test mail right now. And I can go and check. It will come to my mail because mine is a sender ID. So it will come to me automatically. I can send out a test mail, and I can also view it from here itself, or I can go to my mailbox and view it. I can also do a run mail merge, which is the next step, you know. I need to send out the mail. But if I go back to my Gmail itself, you can, if I do to refresh it, I will be able to see my mail out over here. Let's just see if it has come. Yes, you can see this mail, test mail. You can see the test mail, right? So you can see if I click on it, it comes out over here. Does it look good? And is it simple? If it's simple, just type simple out over there, so that I know that you all agree with me that it's a good productivity tool to have for your business. So it's as vanilla and as simple as that. And then I just click on run mail merge, and then it gets sent across for me as per the date that I have set up over here. So along with the date, I can actually set up the time also. So here in this date window, I can even set up the time. I need to say, so I want to send it on this particular date, and I want to send it on 18/5. So this particular thing will get sent on that particular date and that particular time. So this is something that is possible for you. Okay. Let me just come back. Okay, guys. Okay, it looks easy. Thank you for that comment, Noor. Guys, please do share your comments also, and I'll be happy to share more with you. Now, this is one fantastic tool. Apart from this particular tool, yes, you also have the spreadsheet and remote reports tool, which is available out over here, wherein you want to have a spreadsheet. So here I will be sharing this on the email also with you, so that you can take advantage. So I've given the link for that particular tool so that you know where to go and get that particular tool and ensure that you're using the same tool that I am using. So the spreadsheet tool, I have not linked it properly. I'll get it linked properly for you. But if you go to this email spreadsheets, it's my tool on manage add-ons. Also, you have it as email spreadsheets. You can search for it. Email spreadsheets. Now, what happens with email spreadsheets is that this is the one which I am using out here. This is the latest version. It has got 133,000 downloads. What happens with the spreadsheets tool is that you can send a particular part of the spreadsheet as an email to you. So you want that, you have set up a document, which is a collaboration document, and you asked your team, or maybe you shared it with, for a webinar, you have shared it with your guys out over there, come and fill up this particular form on a regular basis. And you want to keep your management informed that, what is happening with this particular sheet. So you want it to go as a spreadsheet across to your team out there, so that they know that so many people have filled up this particular thing, and they don't need to keep coming back and asking you, guys, how many people have enrolled, out there, So it's automatically going to them as kind of an alert. So in that particular case, you can use this email spreadsheets where you can come, and this allows you one rule on one document at any point of time. And say, for example, this particular tool is sheet itself. I'll go to add-ons, I'll go to email spreadsheets, and I can set up a rule over here. Okay. So I'm creating a new rule. There are multiple sheets, tabs in this particular sheet. I can choose which tab I want to set up this rule for, either both or for one of them. I can set up whether the email that goes across is going to be for as a PDF, as a Microsoft Excel, as a comma separated file, as an email without attachment itself. I can choose that. So let me choose a Microsoft Excel out over here or something. I say continue. I need to give the to ID whom I need to send it. I can also mark a CC to multiple people out there. I can give a subject saying that, they report registration report. Say, for example, we are doing it for the webinar. So webinar 1 registration report. And you can have a sender's name out here. Say in my case, it is Ram. So and this is free. This is completely free. Email body. So webinar 1 report for that matter. And, 2-hour report, hourly report. So, and I can set it up for every hour. I can say continue. It's only one-time activity. I just need to do a send mail on the about tab. But if it's going to be a continuous activity, I can come here. I can set up a date. I can, from where it starts, I can set up a time from what time it starts. And I can say repeat hourly, daily, weekly, whatever I would want to, I can set that up over here. And hourly, so every hour, every 2 hours. So that kind of an option is available every 3 hours or every 2 hours, or whatever you want to set at the end of the day. And you say, ends at what date. So the event ends on next 3 days. So you don't want the registration report to be sent thereafter. You say ends after a particular date. So you give a particular date and you're done, right? So something like that. And here in this email, Google Sheet, in this email editor, you can also have this particular email body. You can kind of, mention the what sheet are you doing. So you can see over here at the bottom, he has given the example, how do you need to put it so that it goes as a part of the email. Of course, the attachment will be going, but in case you don't want it as an attachment, but you want it within the email itself, you can set it up within the email itself. So sheet name, you can give it over here. So instead of sheet name, you write actually sheet 1. So we are sending sheet 1. So you say sheet 1, and you have exclamation mark followed by the columns, A1, which is my first column. And I want to select, say, up to B4 column, 3A, B4. So यहाँ तक का चाहिए मुझे for that matter. I can even keep it more. So in case more data gets filled up, it gets keeping populated at the end of the day. So I can put those many out here, and then I can say continue. I can check it out by sending a mail out there, and I can then schedule it out over here. And instead of say start time 6:16:8, say let me take right now's time, which is say 18. Just a minute. 18, and then I'm saying 18, say 13 or something, and I'm saying okay, and I'm saying save. So it's got saved. It will get, it will automatically, see, these are tools which are running from their server. These are API tools which are running from their server, and they are keeping a track of your, this particular sheet is the only permission that they have access to, and they are sending it out to you. Okay, so it will get after 4-5 minutes, we can just go and check our mail whether the spreadsheet has got sent across to us. In a similar, so this is one tool which I shared with you. So one is email spreadsheet report and mail merge I have shared with you. I want to share one more tool, which is the add reminder tool. Now this tool is slightly different from the other tools that we have done so far. Now the advantage of this tool is this reminder works row wise. So the earlier tool that we had, email spreadsheet tool, is for that particular sheet, right? Whereas this particular tool works row wise. So say every day morning you have a meeting, you set up a certain list of tasks that needs to be done. You have assigned the person who needs to do it. You're put in their email ID, you're put in their CC to someone else, and you have put a deadline that by what time and what date and time this activity needs to get completed. And most of the times they use a US format, which is month, DD, by month, day, year actually. So be careful about those dates out over there. Now, if you have this kind of a sheet being maintained in your organization, then you can set up a reminder so that you know whether people have completed the task, and you can have a status over here. Now, what you can do is you can go to this add-on, you can go to this add-on, you can go to this add reminder over here, and you can set up the reminder. So I've already set it up, so it gives me setup/edit reminder. So it is coming on my right hand side. Like, I have already set one on this page. I can set only one reminder, and it's okay. It's good enough for me, right? And I say deadline. More than one, you need to pay for this too. Some of them are completely free. You need to check it out. Here I can say deadline. I need to say when I need to send out this deadline reminder. There are multiple options. You can toggle it and you can check it out actually. You have this reminder to be sent, say 1 hour before the activity or after the activity. When do you want to send it? So you say 1 hour before the activity. So this particular date, which is there in time, 7:50 is the time that they're supposed to complete it by. So before that particular time that is there, 7:50, 1 hour before it will get sent. You want to send it 1 day prior, you can send 1 day prior. You can, so certain tasks are say based on multiple days. Then in that case, you can say 1 day prior itself, you can give them a reminder, because you know that, for example, you want to confirm for an event whether the hotel guys have ensured that they have arranged for 30 people to come to the venue. Then 1 day prior, you need to ensure that the reminder goes so that your guys can call up that person and can come and update it over here, you know. So the event or the date, so you can decide the way you want it. You can have even multiple reminders by putting the task twice, and you can set up a multiple reminder for that matter. So here, 1 hour prior is the first, and it will go 1 hour prior for every row over here. Okay, for every row over here. Then it says notify me, notify people in the assignee. So all those people in the assignee will also be notified. Tick mark for notify CC people, to all the people in the CC column will be notified. And if you want to personalize the message or something, you can do that out over here. So I have mentioned it, you know, hello team. So whatsoever the team member's name in the team column, remember to do this particular task sincerely, and I put my name out over here. So you can personalize it, and you can also say include the spreadsheet URL so that they don't have to figure out which URL. They get the URL on the mail. They can go there and update it in case they have finished it, but they have forgotten to update that particular task out over there. So that is something that you can do easily out over here. You can. This is one particular tool, and then once you're done, you can just say save changes, and you can add one more in case you want to send it 1 day prior or something. So that is a choice that you have. Now let's just go and see if that particular mail got sent, which we had sent for the spreadsheet earlier. whether it has come across. Just refresh it one more time. Yeah, it's not yet come for me. Okay, it does come. I've used it multiple times. Sometimes it's slightly slow, but it does come. Okay. Now let me go back to this particular one more add-on that I wanted to share with you. I think is the last add-on for today. We have this auto create add-on, auto letter create add-on. Auto letter create add-on is a fantastic tool which is a combination of Google Forms, Sheets, and Google Docs. Now, what happens is that sometimes you have an appointment letter to be created, and this appointment letter is quite standardized. You have the dear employee name, uh, you have been appointed for the position of, and you have something like your roles and responsibilities. Your salary will be such, and this is going to be a kind of a joining. It's kind of a letter which you give, before he actually joins. It's a pre-joining letter actually. It's a consideration letter that you're sharing with him, and then he actually comes and joins. And then you have a more detailed appointment letter, but you have this joining letter that we can call for that matter. And this joining letter is quite straightforward. Now, say you are recruiting, say 10, 15 people, or you're doing a kind of a invite for, 100 people who have to attend a program, and you want to create a separate kind of an invite for each one of them so that you can print it, put it in an envelope and share it with each one of these people out there. So either of the cases as it may be, if you want to create a document on the fly and you want to also standardize the entire thing, then what you can do is, first of all, you can create a form, which is a kind of a data collection form. So I have this particular form out over here, wherein I have the name, the position, the joining date, and the sender ID out over here. Then I have the Excel sheet, which I have already linked to this particular form. So when you click on the response tab, which I mentioned earlier, and you click on the Excel sheet, if there is no Excel sheet there, it will automatically create one. If it is already there, it gets linked over there. And you can see that there are such nice kind of dashboard reports available. You can use it for sending us feedback survey, for standardizing your process, whichever way it is, you can do all those things. Okay. Now I go to this Excel sheet. From here also I can go to it. I'm just going to delete this particular Excel column because my new Excel name column has got created out there. So I'm just going to delete this particular column, because otherwise it creates confusion out there. So I'll just delete it. So we have one more Excel column that got created by mistake. And now the software is using this particular column as the name column. Okay. So I've created this. Now what we will do is that we have two things, right? We have an appointment letter, kind of a format out here, name, position, joining date. And let me say, instead of sender, let me just edit it to reports to. So fine, I'm done with this. So it gets auto saved automatically. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the send button, get the URL, share it with my team guy who is responsible for appointment contracts. And what I have also done is I have gone ahead and created a document template, which allows me to know, which is a appointment contract letter format. Now what I have done is it's a kind of a joining letter, very simple I've created. You can create it a lot more detailed. For sake of example, I've created a very simple format. And whatever tags I wanted to be coming from the Excel sheet, I have given it as a tag. So here you need to give us a double arrow as a tag. And you have this name, position, joining date, and say the sender itself, right? And I'm changing it to reports to. Right, reports to. Now, let me just go here. Let me just do a preview and try one so that I know how it goes. Since I've changed these labels, I just need to do a double check. So I'm saying Ramkumar, or say, let me put someone else's name. Say Divya has joined for the position of marketing executive, and the joining date is say it is say today's date 26 07 07. Oh, sorry, it has to be ulta, no? So month 07 26 2020. Okay. And reports to, I'm saying Ram. Saying a number, I'm saying some issue with this form. I'll just go and correct it once again. Just check at the bottom. It's a short answer, but it's not a number. So I'll remove the validation. Now I'll go back and fill up this form. Say Divya, marketing executive, ME I'm just putting, and date I'm putting 07 26 and 2020, and reports to Ramkumar. I've done. I'm submitting this form. It's gone. Now I reports to as this column over here, right? So reports to Ramkumar. Now you can see that nothing has got created. Now it got created right now in front of you. As I said, nothing has got created because the trigger is set to get created as soon as someone fills it up. Now let's go and see what actually happens over here. Okay. Now I go to my Excel sheet. This is my Excel sheet. I have already this form which I've linked to this Excel sheet. I go to the Excel sheet. I go to my add-on out over here. Okay, my internet has got disconnected. Can you all hear me, guys? Guys, can you all hear me? Are you there with me? Just type me in the chat window. Yeah, I think I'm there. Okay, now I come back to here, and here in the add-ons, I have this auto create add-on, which I've taken from the manage add-ons, and I say open. Now you can see some of the rules that we have set over here and how it happens. I will get an option only to edit it because already set over here. So I edit this particular document, appointment contract. For you, it will come fresh. For me, this is where it will start for you. For me, it was already, rule was created. So it's saying, so you give a name to this particular thing, and then you say next to this auto create functional that you're creating. Here you will need to link your document. So from here, I have to choose two of them. One, I have to choose my Word template, which has to be created for all the new people who are joining my company. And I have to link the Excel sheet also. So I have already, from the drive, I have chosen both. I have chosen the appointment contract Word document. I have also chosen the Excel sheet from where it needs to pick up the data and it needs to create the new joining letter automatically. Okay. I say next. And here I need to link my fields in the Word document to the fields in my Excel sheet. So there is this name field in my Word document. Now, if both are same, you just need to select the same field. If they are different, then you have an option of going and selecting a different field. But by default, I have kept both the fields same so that there is no confusion. So position and position, joining date and joining date in the Excel sheet, reports to from the Word document to the reports to in the Excel sheet. Once you've done that, then you say next. And here you have the file settings. Okay, you need to create an appointment letter. I have that comes automatically. The name will be name followed by appointment letter. So it will be Divya appointment letter is the file name that gets created. It's a Google Docs that I am creating. It's a multi-output is the mode that I need to select. Then I say next. it will get saved automatically in the template folder that is there in my Google Drive. I can choose whichever folder I want to from here. Okay. I've chosen it. Next, and I can choose a dynamic reference folder. I don't need it. I'm saying next. Merge condition, if there's anything like some field has not got filled, then it should not get created. So something like that, if you want, then you can do it. I don't want anything like that. Next, here I have to say whether I want it to be sent or shared with others. I say yes. As a editable doc, I want it to be shared and allow collaborators to reshare. I'm allowing others to reshare. And I'm saying send from my generic no reply address to the person. So it will get sent to me because it's done on my email ID. And there is an add remove job trigger. When should this automatic document get created? I'm saying the moment that someone fills up the form. So you saw that we created that Divyaka form and we were seeing the additional columns were empty, and immediately after a few seconds it got populated. The moment a form is getting filled up by a person, by a new, from a HR department fills it up, at that time a job appointment letter gets automatically created and run on time trigger or on creating a form trigger. So you can also do it on a run time trigger, wherein you want it to be done at the end of every day. So if they want to make any corrections, they can make it and then actually it gets triggered at a particular time in the evening. So that also option you have. Once you have done this, then you say save. That's all. Now, what happens is that whenever someone fills it, I automatically get a mail. Like you can see this appointment contract Divya. I get a mail saying that, you know, appointment contract of Divya has got created. The file name you can see is Divya, followed by appointment letter, which is what we set over there. And her document of appointment contract has got automatically created and got mailed to me. Dear Divya, we are pleased to appoint you to the position of ME, Marketing Executive. The joining date is 26/7/2020, and regards and reports to name has not come over here. So some error has creeped in. Maybe the column name and this name was not exactly matching, or I don't know why. So I just need to just double check that. But you fairly got a feel, right? Key what happens out there. So I have a reports too. I don't know why it didn't get populated, but I'll check that later definitely. But you got a fair idea how the entire thing works, right? So these are some add-ons that I wanted to share with you, but this is not the end of the world. This is not the G Suite has got lot more available to it apart from what I shared with you today. I hope I have been able to share with you the three main things that you can do. That is, one is online communication between various stakeholders, online collaboration between employees and departments, and lastly, data collection and reporting automation. And if I were to keep my promise, you know, the initial promise that I started with, that G Suite is for business as an efficiency tool. It is also a scale up by automating some of your tasks out there. Autopilot your business by creating systems and processes, which I have done with my team members, and they keep managing a lot of things in the Excel sheet on their own without me being to be there out there. Actually, they are just following those documents out there and they keep working on their own. Work independently, not for like this is a simple tool where everyone can use it without too much of knowledge out there. Once in a while those setups need to be done, but that can be done by you or it can be done by your technical partner. But once it is done, then this for your team it's very fairly easy to use out there. For your customers it is very fairly to use out over there, and it's cost effective for your business because it costs you only 200 rupees per user per month, which otherwise I'm sure that you're spending even more than that for your tea expenses itself for an employee. As a cost to the company, if you look at it, even the tea expenses are a lot more than that. If they travel one day outside, they are spending a lot more than that. And at the end of the day, if you're paying such high salaries and you're not able to get the productivity from your team, then I think you're losing out over there. So with this particular tool, you can be ensured that they are also getting those email notifications whenever new mail comes from a client. They are aware even at 10 o'clock in the night through their Gmail app configured on their phone that this is something which has happened. They can be mentally prepared to respond to the client the next day. Some of them may respond to the client on the same day itself. And with those different sheets and forms and docs and slides and Meet, chat, and so many other apps that are available, Drive, etc., I'm sure you can increase your efficiency of your business to gain at least a lot more than what you are investing in terms of the per user out over there. You will definitely be able to gain a lot more than that. If you all agree with me, guys, so much so far, do type I agree so that I know that you all are with me so much so far. With this, we are more or less at the end of the session. If you have any questions, I can take up those. I know it's a Sunday evening. You are supposed to be spending more time with your family. Thank you for being patient and with me so much so far. Do share your review on Google or Facebook with us so that we know that we have added value to your lives today. And definitely, if you have any requirement with respect to G Suite for your business, whether it's a small organization or a large organization, get started so that you have a business process, a business system, and a business continuity for your entire organization out over there. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take those. We have another two or three questions that I can take. Else we are done for today, guys. If you all have been happy, please type happy over there. That's the last validation that I have been able to give a good session for you. Do type happy over there. It has been exciting, informative, happy, any one of them for you. Please type it out over there so that I know I have added value for you. Thank you, Jignasha. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys. I think you all don't have much of questions also, I understand. Anyway, I'm available. My numbers are there with you. You all can definitely get in touch with me. This is my contact number. My email, the sales ID is available. Any point of time, anything that you may have to ask, you can definitely get in touch with me or one of my team members on sitetours.com, and we'll be more than happy to assist you out there. We also do training sessions for your team. In case you want to set up a training session for your team, you can get in touch with us. That training session is slightly different from this because it's more focused towards business owners. That's more of an information session out over. Wonderful, guys. Thank you for being there. With this, I will end the session. Have a great evening and have a wonderful year ahead, even in the COVID times. Bye, guys.